The cricket action intensifies here in the Oman Cricket Academy on day 3 match number 5 as Hong Kong China play Sri Lanka A, and both these teams are aware about their situation, find themselves in a desperate situation where a win will certainly help their cause in the points table as well. And Fernando, the captain of Sri Lanka A, will be hoping to inspire his boys once again. Hello and welcome. We are coming to you live from the Oman Cricket Academy, all set for match number 5 in the men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. Hong Kong China dropped their first game against Bangladesh, but they certainly have the ammunition in the middle as well. Yasim Murtaza, watch out for Ehsan Khan. Babar Hayat with the bat. Captain Nizakat has been amongst runs. They all have been in the mix and have been in the thick of things. They need to come together. So does Sri Lanka A. A lot will depend on their spinners as well, how they come out and perform. They did well in that last game, missed out with the bat, and this is how the points table looks like. Bangladesh and Afghanistan registering wins. They'll have a game later on, but Sri Lanka and Hong Kong China, they don't want to make life difficult for themselves. Certainly Dushan Hemanta looked very good for Sri Lanka in the last game, and he'll want to continue his good run. In conversation with him is Suhas Swedam.
You've got Dushan Hemanta of Sri Lanka A with us. Thank you so much for talking to us, Dushan. It's the first time that you set foot on this turf and you picked up 6 wickets. Must be easy, right?
Yeah, actually I'm very happy about my bowling. First time I'm playing here in Oman, different conditions. So I just stick to the conditions and do my basics. That's it.
If you could tell us a little bit about your captain using you in a different manner. 14 overs, you waited and then he unleashed you. Was that always a part of the plan?
Yeah, we will stick to the plan because we do have good 2 off spinners. We try to get the wicket from them. Then I got a chance to bowl in the 14th over. I just capitalized.
And finally, if you could tell us, what was the discussion of the last game after this one?
We all know, all the players know we have to win both 2 games. So all the players are sticking to the plans, and hopefully we do well in these 2 games.
Go well today. All the best.
Thank you.
What a performance Dushan Hemanta put across. But these are the players to watch out for. Babar Hayat got 85 and 61 in that first game against Bangladesh. Nizakat and Ehsan as well, very fine senior pros. Hemanta, Fernando and Ahan too have been brilliant. Well, Babar certainly holds the key, and let's see what he has to say coming into this crucial encounter as well.
We've got Babar Hayat of Hong Kong China with us. Babar, thank you so much for talking to us. The last game was a big learning curve, wasn't it?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think, yeah, it was a big learning for us. I think if you look at the whole game, I think we were very good at the first 30 overs, and then we collapsed at the last. As I mentioned in the previous interview, that we were 10 to 15 runs short, and that was the case. I think we lost the game, and I think our fielding was not the highest standard. I think that may be the case of losing us the game.
Was there a discussion after the last game about covering more ground as a team that's got an average age of 29?
Yeah, I think you can say I'll be the most experienced or oldest guy in the team, I think, and then there's a lot of young guys who have been playing for Hong Kong. I think we have a good bench strength as well. So I think you can say it was really hot the other day as well and today. So I think the weather, I think because of the weather, and then I've batted for long, and I think that cost us, and I've hit my knee as well. So that's probably the case of the last game.
Well, it's a short tournament, it's a fast tournament as well, and that's why you've got to seize the early advantage, get those wins, because you'll just be playing catch-up. We have Sri Lanka playing Hong Kong today, then we have Bangladesh taking on Afghanistan later in the evening. On the 22nd, you have Afghanistan taking on Hong Kong, and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh taking on each other as well. We're all set for the toss. Sikandar Bakht with both the captains.
It's match 5 of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup, and we've got Sri Lanka A versus Hong Kong China. I've got the 2 captains, Nuwanidu Fernando, Sri Lanka A's captain. I've got Nizakat, captain of Hong Kong China, and I've got Mr. Prakash Bhatt, our match referee. Who's got the coin? Well, Nuwanidu, you will flip.
Tails. Tails is the call.
Tails is the call.
It is tails.
It is tails, so...
Yeah, we'll bowl first.
Nizakat, what are you going to do?
Yeah, we will bowl first.
You'll bowl first. Now, we've seen 4 matches. 2 have been won by sides batting first, 2 by... What is the main reason for you to be chasing?
Well, you know, especially the wicket, it's a fresh wicket. We're going to make sure that we use that new ball well in power play. You know, if you can get early wickets in power play, that will be ideal. But yeah, you know, on this ground we have played a lot, so chasing is a bit more easier.
What kind of changes are you bringing into your 11?
Yeah, we are going with the same team.
Same team. Now, just looking at this surface, you've decided that you want to chase. What kind of score is gettable out here?
Well, you know, anything below 160, I would say, we have to bowl extremely well. Despite of, you know, the wicket is very good, the ground is, outfield is very quick. We have to be up for it from ball 1 to ball last, especially on the field, which is very, very crucial.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Now, Adidu, you would have wanted to chase as well?
Yeah, and we are planning to the bat first.
Oh, planning to bat first, so you got what you wanted then. Now, to start off with, I mean, what are the areas that you're looking to correct from that first game?
Yeah, we trying to fielding good.
Better fielding.
Yeah, and because looks too dry.
Yeah.
And we into another spinner, and we trying to hit most of them.
Any changes you brought to your 11?
Yeah, I fast ball out,
Yeah.
and Nimesh Mukti in.
Extra spinner in. What kind of score? You said you want to bat first. You
I think 160, 170 plus is a good score for this wicket because I think little bit spin.
All right. Namanido, have a good game.
Thank you.
All right, so the news from here is that Hong Kong China have won the toss and they've decided they're going to bowl first.
After having dropped their first games, they find themselves in a must-win-like situation. One change here for Sri Lanka. Nimesh Vimukti coming in, the all-rounder, left-arm off-spinner, orthodox spinner and a batter as well in place of Isita Vijayasundara. But the owners rely on Yashoda Ratnayage and their captain as well. Unchanged playing 11 for Hong Kong China. Nizakat Khan, watch out for the batting. Top 3 hold the core over here. And Martin as well will need some runs. All-rounders Aizaz, Yazim and Nasrullah can be very effective. And Ehsan Atikullah too will come in with the ball. Lot depends on how this pitch behaves. Let's go down to the pitch doctors, Sikandar Bakht and Dev Watmore.
Well, it's hot and dry conditions out here. You can actually fry an egg on this. Well, bat first, bat second really doesn't matter. It's all about how you bowl, really, because this is a good batting track.
It is, certainly is. It may be a fresh wicket, Sikandar, but it's a typical Oman Cricket Academy surface. The characteristics don't change much. The onus is on the bowlers to put it in the right area and to restrict as much as they can in order for them to have a win, I guess.
So the key for the bowlers would be, what lengths would you prefer when you talk about the fast bowlers with that new ball in hand?
Well, that's right. The one thing I think you must not do, you must avoid bowling width. Whether it's on the leg side or the offside, width has to be out of the equation. And you've got to hit a hard length, particularly with the new ball. Spinners we've seen get wickets as well. More the wrist spinner, and Sri Lanka's got a good one. He had a very enjoyable outing last time. So the wrist spinners get a little bit of bounce as well. So there's something for everyone here.
All right, 2 games, 1 chasing, 2 games, 1 batting first. It's really up to you as a captain what you want to do. This is a good batting track.
Yeah, it's been quite a sporting wicket in this part of the world. Very important game for Sri Lanka and Hong Kong China. And another loss will really not help their cause, and they'll be staring down the barrel and languishing at the bottom of the points table. A win over here will consolidate their position, and they'll be then competing with Bangladesh and Afghanistan A as well. It's hot and humid conditions. It's hot and happening as well here at the Oman Cricket Academy. Day 3, match number 5. Sri Lanka put into bat. And just the right time to welcome my co-commentator Salman Butt as well. Very good afternoon, Salman.
Thank you, Mikhail. Good afternoon to you and to all the people who are watching this Asian Emerging Teams Asia Cup T20. And both teams have got what they desired for. Hong Kong to make use of the fresh pitch, as the captain said. And Sri Lanka get to bat first, and they play an extra spinner. So both have contrasting thinking about the same pitch.
Ayush Ashish Shukla, he certainly enjoys these conditions, has been amongst wickets as well in the warm-up games. 21 years of age, a best of 4 for 49. Sri Lanka wanted to bat first, they've got that to do. Must-win-like situation for both the teams. We're all set for game number 5 to roll out here at this picturesque venue as the openers are readying themselves. So what becomes a very important encounter for both these teams after having dropped that first encounter of theirs. Umpires Nasir Hussain and Akbar Ali in the middle as well, as the Sri Lankan batters also set themselves up for what should be a very good start for them if they need to really capitalize and seize the early advantage. Ayush Ashish Shukla with the new ball. It's time for play. Yashoda will take strike with a slip in place. Salman, you did speak about the wicket to me off air sometime back when we were strolling around. You saw something very different than the remaining surfaces where cricket was played in the first 2 days.
Yes, I mean, it had this grass cover, but the color was different. It wasn't fresh grass or the tinge of green that we saw on the previous two surfaces wasn't there. So I thought this might just help the spinners a bit more, might grip a bit more. And Sri Lanka, interestingly, have opted for an extra spinner, so we shall see. So we shall see how effective this extra spinner is.
Yeah, you want to make some changes after a loss in that game, and Sri Lanka have done that. They have brought in left-arm orthodox spinner Nimesh Vimukti, and have left out pacer Isita Vijayasundara. But it's the opening batters who'll have to take Sri Lanka off to a good start. Lahiru Udara, wicket-keeper batter, age 30, strike rate over 120, over 1,000 runs, fair bit of experience for him as well. So often the start decides the end. That would be in your team meetings as well. Salman, give us a good start in the first 6.
Always important to get off to a good start in the first power play.
Yeah, rather conservative field over here. Slip in place, 4 on the off inside the circle, shot fine, which means you have a deep square leg, open vacant spaces towards mid-wicket. And there you can see the deep square leg patrolling the ropes, shot fine, mid-on, slip in place, and a very wide squarer third who's now just moving finer as well, and the slip moves to mid-wicket. Not seeing much deviation or movement in the air, prompting the captain to make these subtle changes, Salman, in the middle. So Lahiru gets off the mark with a single that brings Yashoda on strike. Both these batters failed to get going in the previous outing of theirs. Yashoda managed 15, Lahiru 6, and that's where the problems compounded in the chase for Sri Lanka A.
Well, yes, Sri Lanka lost their way a couple of times when the partnerships seemed to develop, and they just seemed to take the wrong options. At times, running between the wicket was mind-boggling, and especially the captain, Nawanidu, he was playing well.
Yeah, I don't think there was a single in that, Salman. Would you have run at the striker's end?
Certainly I wouldn't. We just spoke about the running between the wickets, and there is something which was happening quite often the other day. And when asked at the toss by Sikandar, what would you like to change? He saw the pitch first and then he said fielding. So fielding was definitely one aspect. They lost opportunities. Then the running.
Absolutely, and the running between the wickets as well really added to Sri Lanka's woes in their first game. Pulls it. Powerful strike, couple of bounces, races away to the fence as well. Good way to end the first over, and a very fine hit as well from the bat of Yashoda to get off the mark. End of over number 1, it's 6 for no loss. Atikullah Rehman Iqbal, age 32, a best of 2 for 10. Very good economy of 5.49. Comes on to board from the combox end into over number 2. Yes, Salman, you've got to hunt in pairs, bat in pairs. How important is it for a batting partner to have another very, very sound piece of advice coming in? We'll take a look at that hit as well from Yashoda of the last ball of the last over. Very fine hit.
Yes, at his pace, you cannot afford to drop short on a pitch which is as good as the strip that they're playing on. We'll come back to your question. His turn on the legs. It's an absolute blessing to have somebody who can support you at the other end, somebody more experienced, who can guide you through a tough or a rough situation and get you running in that rough period. I remember batting with Brian Lara in Cape Town in a World 11 game where the great man helped me a lot. We were both actually struggling. The ball was seaming around and it was hard to get bat on the ball. And the way he spoke to me got me through that period. You know, he told me to just survive initially. Then there was a bowler. Let's not take his name. I said we can get runs off him, but we had to make sure that he bowls his quota. So we're not going to go overboard. If I get the boundary, you take the singles. If you get the boundary, we'll both take the singles. So that way things eased out and his experience helped me to grow as a batter.
Interesting move here. The wicketkeeper standing up to the stumps now. Just trying to negate the charge. Zishan Ali. And he bowls it short. What a lovely bit of timing on that. Waited on that. Pierced it through the gap. Fetches 4 more. Yashoda's looking very good in the middle.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where the keeper might stand. If you're going to miss your length on this track, you're going to pay the price. And this is exactly what happened. Short and wide and nicely punched off the back foot. An elegant stroke. 4 to Sri Lanka. And already Hong Kong, China must be thinking after winning the toss what we have opted for.
Yeah, you did mention about batting alongside Brian Lara, who certainly added a lot more calmness and composure to your batting as well in the middle. Meanwhile, your thoughts on the surface?
Yes, we can see there is grass, but it's yellow. It's dead grass, straw-colored, and it's basically a dry surface. This is better length, and this is where he needs to be most of the time. Ask the batters to take a risk. So coming back to the surface, I thought it might grip more. It just looked like that sort of a surface which will give this extra edge to a spinner, and Sri Lanka have opted for an extra spinner.
Oh yes, Nimish Vimukti coming in, the left-arm orthodox spinner in place of a pacer. Good move that by Sri Lanka, eh? Good comeback here after conceding a boundary. 5 runs conceded of the second. Sri Lanka 11 for no loss.
Wait, we have 60 seconds. We have to pause quicker. Yeah. So would you actually just keep the same thing or change
Udara and Yashoda in the middle right now, holding fort. A lot will depend on Ratnaik Archige, but the kind of batter that Nuwanidu Fernando, the captain, is. He's so good on the eyes. What a delight to watch. And then the all-rounders, Mendes and Hemanta. He got 6 for 23 in that last game of his. Oh, looks to go for the scoop. And the execution comes really well. It was cheeky, adventurous. There was an element of risk, but it reaps the reward as well. What a fine hit here by Lahiru.
Well, have a look at this adjustment. He was initially hoping that the line would be within the stump, so he moved out, tried to move inside the line, but then what a great adjustment that was. Keeping his eye on the ball till the very last moment and also taking his head away. Great adjustment by Lahiru there. Innovative, at the same time, the basics, eye on the ball.
This time gets low on it. Gets the elevation and the distance. The first 6 for Sri Lanka A and for Lahiru as well. It's the manner in which he executed that shot that looked so good on the eyes. quick hands and very fast movement in the crease as well.
Absolutely. What a great shot this is. A pickup down on one knee, and he used the length to perfection, hitting it over square leg. And this definitely is an outcome of the previous stroke that he played. When the bowlers are not very experienced, this is what happens. You manufacture a shot, and the next ball they offer you something.
What a start to this over. 10 in the first 2. Terrific. Throws his bat at it. It's a slog. There's protection in the deep. Oh, a little bit of a misfield, but they'll stick to 1. They'll need to be careful with their running after what happened in the last game. But what a start to the over so far.
Yes, after a couple of good hits, he's gained confidence. And pace versus spin at this tournament. Pace 27 wickets, an economy just under 9, an average of 27.4, whereas spin 27 wickets but a much better economy, 2 less runs. And expensive are the pacers over here, so they need to be very precise.
Yes, Salman, that's the right word. Bowl with precision in the middle. So important. You can't err in line. What a start to the over, and just like the way Lahiru and Yashoda are now piling on the runs in the middle. Both teams desperate for a win.
Yes, both not able to win their first games, and they would love to get off the mark with points and to stay in the tournament as well.
Just checking his shot because the slow delivery was dished out. Sensible cricket. You've got to play percentage cricket at the moment. You talk about the scoops. Well, the Dil scoop was invented by a certain Tilakaratne Dilshan. And not surprised that this shot came out from a Sri Lankan batter as well. The Dil scoop to perfection, and then how nicely he got into position for that, Salman.
Yes, definitely the second stroke was an outcome of the previous one. He altered the length.
No ball!
There's a no ball. So wheels are coming off for the fast bowlers. Early on in the innings, just a couple of strokes it has taken, and suddenly you're seeing things that you wouldn't normally see. And Shukla will have to re-bowl, and this will be a free hit. And clearly over the line. So Sri Lanka can take some more advantage. It's Yashoda on strike.
That's high. They'll keep running for that. That's because it's a free hit and offer. They'll just take a single. For a second, I thought a second was on as well. Landed straight into the hands of Babar Hat, who had to just hurl it back. Very good over coming by here for Sri Lanka. They've accumulated quite a few runs as well. Done with over number 3, 26 for no loss.
लगा बाबर आज जरा मेरे लाना राणे जरा जरा इधर इधर इधर
Sensible cricket here by Sri Lanka, not throwing it away. It's a spread out field. You feel they should be attacking a bit more over here, Hong Kong, China, after winning the toss, Salman.
Yes, I mean, it's such a hot day, not a cloud in the sky, sun beating down, and a pitch which is already dry. It has all the makings of a wonderful batting track. First up, Hong Kong, China. Wow, there's the first wicket. Udara trying to be cute, and he pays the price. Inside edge goes onto the stumps. First blood for Hong Kong, China.
I'm not too sure if that shot was on. He's just trying to cut the wrong length, and it was too close as well. Made a mess of that entire shot in the middle, did Udara, and he knows it as well after playing it. Lucky break here for Hong Kong, China as well. The persistency by Atikur Rahman has been rewarded. He was bowling in the width of the stumps and they strike early. Udara departs for 14 and 9. It's 27 for 1.
and boys, back to positions, please.
Well, that's a familiar sight for Sri Lanka, and the captain as well walks in very early yet again in match number 2 of Sri Lanka A. Lahiru Udara playing a very ordinary shot to drag one onto the stumps. He's back in the dugout, but this man in full flow is a sight to watch. So elegant to the eyes. A best of 126, 58 matches for him, over 1,000 runs, and a strike rate of close to 125. What a lovely batter he is. He's played 4 ODIs and 1 T20 international for Sri Lanka as well as Nuwanidu Fernando, the captain of Sri Lanka A.
Straight away off the mark, Nuwanidu Fernando is one elegant player in this side and probably one of the elegant players in this tournament. Very well balanced. Just have a look at this wicket. Too close to play this stroke, and the length was much fuller as well. And this option did not suit the batter, and Atikullah, he obviously, credit to him for bowling close to the stumps, not giving any room to the batter. Once again, he's made good use of whatever he has up his sleeve. He's being tight, consistent on a decent line and length. With the keeper up, this option for the batters to go down the track is also not there. So good tactics from Hong Kong.
It's hot, it's happening, it's humid. For a moment I thought it's raining out there in the middle, then I realized the sun's beating hard. Welcome to Oman. What a shot! I'll tell you, this is a sight to watch, and that's what Nuwanidu can do. So good on the eyes, so elegant, so exquisite. And look at the timing and placement of that as well. He makes it look so easy.
Well, have a look at this stroke. No fuss, full face of the bat, pure timing. And it just goes through, and there's no chance for any fielder to catch this ball. And this is Nuwanidu Fernando for you. The Lanka captain is so pleasing on the eye when he gets going.
Very good, very good.
A successful over for Hong Kong. China comes to an end. A wicket and 7 runs coming off it. It's 33 for 1. Well, nestled right in between the Al Hajar Mountains. It's a picturesque view, and what a setting here at the Oman Cricket Academy. Dropped in the lap of nature, and we are seeing some exciting and intense and pulsating cricket action as well. Match number 5, day 3. Time for spin. Ehsan Khan has been asked to bowl over number 5 from the far end.
Ehsan is a very, very experienced campaigner. It's hard to get away most of the times when I've seen him bowl. We'll see how Sri Lankan batters go about playing him. They would want to make the maximum out of this last 2 overs remaining in the first power play. But he is very experienced and a cunning spinner who knows his limits.
Absolutely good observation there, Salman. Very shrewd operator with the ball is Ehsan Khan, and that's why the captain has always believed in him and given him to bowl in the first 6 as well. There's a long on in place and a deep square leg as well. Protection in the deep at long on and deep square leg. Yeah, he'll just come at you, keeping it very simple.
It's, the point of release is very important, and I think he delays the release, and that is where he gets that extra time to check the batter's intention. Wow! Once again, Nuwanidu What a player he is. Magnificent stroke, over covers, against the spin. He times it brilliantly. No problem at all.
Well, Salman, you spoke about release. That looked like a release shot over there from the bat of Nuvanedu. Look at that for class and carnage in the middle. When six hitting looks so simple and easy, it really talks about the caliber and pedigree of the batter as well.
Absolutely. And some natural advantages that taller batters have with long levers in terms of their arm lengths. They can pick lengths which are further, which are not easy for a shorter batter. So we saw the advantage of long levers in that particular stroke. How easily he put it over covers and over the boundary as well. Maximum. Just have a look at this release from a side-on angle. Oh, wow. It's end of 5 and it's 41 for 1 Sri Lanka.
चना साहब उन्होंने कहता दो ना है बाबर थोड़ा इधर हो बिग डाल.
It's 41 for 1 after 5. The captain, Nuvanedu, the start of the game, wanted to bat first. He's cashing out on that opportunity that's been provided to him by Hong Kong, China. This is his 50 from the last outing. Nuvanedu, they didn't win that game, but he was an entertainment to watch. 51 of 32. And a good strike rate of almost 160. Played all around the park with 4 boundaries and a maximum to his name in that knock of 50 plus. Good single there. Ooh, a direct hit. Surely will go upstairs. Dave, what do you think?
Oh, I'll have a look at the replay first. Just going on to what you said about Nuvanedu, he's in a bit of form, isn't he? He's seeing it pretty well. And when you're in that rich vein of form, you'd like to extend it as much as you possibly can. So we're going to have a little look at this replay.
Yeah. It looks like touch and go. It's not the first time Ishoda and Nuvanedu have had yes and no between them. Even in the previous game, there was a bit of a stutter there in decision making. This looks all right. When the bails come off, I think he's just crossed that line.
Yeah, I think he's going to be safe, but you wouldn't want to do that too often, I would have thought. You need a little bit more cohesion and decent communication and understanding, because you just don't want run-outs to occur in the wickets column.
Looks like he's okay. Yeah, not out. Coming back to Nuvanedu, he's made a change in his 11. He's left out a fast ball and got an extra spinner. I think he's learned a thing or two after that first game.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure we'll see the leg spinner a little earlier than the 14th over. What a game he had. And I think he's going to enjoy bowling to Hong Kong, China.
Well done, Tiki. Excellent, Tiki.
We talk about this being a good batting track. You expect a little more runs than 150 with the sides are scoring. Something like what we saw last night, somewhere in the 180s. Shouldn't be a problem. Maybe as the games go on, the sides just get a grip of it, understanding how this square is really responding.
Yeah, I agree. But when you start losing wickets, regardless of what the conditions are, it tends to put a bit of a brake on the run scoring. So Bangladesh A were chasing a score of 150 and they'd lost 8 wickets in that game. And then Sri Lanka A were chasing a score of 166. Oh, right, there he is. Some wonderful shots in that previous match. He's in some nice form at the moment. And there's another indication of nicely timed stroke making. Yeah, so you would think more than 150 today, Sikandar, for sure.
But think about spinners bowling at Nova Needle. He's around 6'2", 6'4". He's got a big reach and he has a very open stance and legs up pretty wide. Reminds you of Kevin Peterson kind of a stance. Runs here once again. It'll probably be 4 of them.
He didn't really want it to play it there, but that's the end of the over. 51 for 1 after the first 6 overs. The power play done.
End of the power play. Sri Lanka 51 for 1.
Saji, what do you want? Yeah, first power play is finished. Waiting for power play signal. Martin both bad hai. 1 minute. Khatam ho gaya. Marty. Jaldi Babar, jaldi shabash. Yes, fine.
51 for 1. Power play is done. Spin in operation from that far end. Yasim Murtaza, a left arm spinner, as a signal for the end of the power play. Went for runs in that first game. Yasim played along Salman Butt back in the day.
He's a Samit Patel lookalike, isn't he?
Yeah, I was just going to say that from a distance. Yeah. Catch it is the call, but it was very, very wide of that fielder at long on. Welcomed with a boundary.
Well, there you are. We're looking to change momentum. If there is, the Sri Lankans have started very well, but they've just continued now. I wonder what their idea is for a target in mind. I'm sure it will be in excess of 160. And if they don't lose too many wickets, they're going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, Nuwanidu suggested when I asked him at the toss that he said 160-70 is what are we looking at.
If you don't use wickets, definitely they will score more than that. I'm expecting them to go, 180 if they're not losing too many wickets plus.
Good Marty. Good bowling, Yazi. Good bowling, Yazi. मेरा ख्याल है ज़ाज़म थोड़ा बाहर कर लिए ताड़ेल अभी गुड याजी
Starting things up a little bit after that maximum of his bowling of the first ball.
And you talked about his stance, this Nawindo, because he's a tall boy. Tall players generally have a wider stance, and we've seen that with him. That's oh no, there's a mid-pitch collision, which no harm done in the end, but you want to avoid that as well. But yeah, a tall fellow who generally hits down the ground. Tall batsman, you'll find, hits nicely on the ground. But in his case, look at that, he's also allowed the ball to come close to him, comes down, there's that mid-pitch collision. Both watching the ball, they're guilty of that. That should not happen.
Seven gone, 61 for 1.
You'll see some good selection of shots here. And here we go. Plenty of boundaries played. And look at that, it's gone all the way. Lovely timing. And that's a little bit of a against the run of play. When if it doesn't bounce, you've got to be a little careful trying to dab it. Inside edges will find the wicket. But in the power play, 51 for 1 is a very good start.
Yeah, I've just been told by a statistician, apart from that first game, all the other matches have had 50+ scores in the power play. So coming back to Nobinder, you talk about a batter who's around 6'2", 4", or wide stance, and then he uses his feet against the spin. So it really must be difficult. Spinners keep dragging their length to stay away from his arc or to stay away from his reach, because he has a better reach compared to a guy who's 5'10".
That's right. It makes it a little bit harder for the spinner because he's generally there to deceive the batsman. So what batsmen do sometimes, they get lazy. They track the ball when it goes above the eye line. And when it comes down, they're a little lazy. They don't track it all the way down. And that's when you get a mistimed drive and it could go in the air. But this fellow with an extra reach makes it harder for him. Here we go. So the first 2 games is under 50, but everything else has been over 50. And that is a straight hit down to long off. And a good potential innings comes to an end. Surely that's a gift.
You just get a feeling he didn't finish that shot. I mean, it was a straight bat. He was watching it, but it's just his bat stopped somewhere. He didn't put enough into it, into that shot. Because there's no pace from the bowler, it just wouldn't travel that distance unless he completely put some power behind it. Fernando goes for 25. It's 6-3 for 2. So the captain's gone. A new batter comes in is Pavan. Pavan Ratnaik. Pavan Ratnaik. Right-handed batter, 21 games.
Yeah, it's covering your leg.
His average doesn't suggest, we've spoken about it, 11. But we're told that he's very good, maybe in that longer format, 50-over version. He seems like a guy who likes to play long innings.
Well, that's right. Look at his stance. Very low hands, but on impact, hands come up a little bit. So I can understand certain judges saying, "Hey, come on, son, get that hands up in your grip, stance, back lift." But what my little eagle eye is telling me, I really like this boy. You know, I know he didn't get too many runs in that first game, but there are the hands come up nicely before impact is made. Seems to have time to play, and that's always a good indication to me, the quality of a batsman.
He's been told by the umpire to take a different road.
That's a bit harsh. He was looking to get off the pitch, but then he was sent back.
Yeah, you can't turn right and then go straight. Single to end the over. It's 8 gone, and it's 65 for 2. Let's have a quick look at Nwandu's wicket. Just feels like a soft dismissal. I mean, didn't have enough pace to work it all the way.
Well, that's right. All the movement patterns you'd say is good. It's all in place. The one thing you'd say, you hit the ball in the air, he shouldn't do that. But if you are going to choose to hit it in the air, you have to ensure it goes all the way.
Especially when you know there's a man waiting right down there. So if you're taking him on, you make sure that you go over him. I just feel like he didn't complete that shot. Nasrullah Rana into the attack. Experience with him. He's got a fifer to his name in this format. Leading edge there. A little misfield allows them to scamper through for a single.
It was a big step back, wasn't it? What are we watching here? There we go. He pushed his hands. He went all the way back, but the delivery was good. I'm not sure that the bowler intended to do that, but it was a really good delivery as it turned out. You find that the reason batsmen do that is to change the length from time to time, but a little bit early in his innings for that.
Again, you speak of stances, and you pointed it out, Dev, how different Pawan is when he is standing in the crease. I mean, he's almost got his legs together. Very conservative, very constrained.
Well, that's right. That's the difference in height. If you're a tall batsman, you're allowed to open your stance a little wider. The distance between the feet is greater. But when you're smaller, then the feet come a little bit closer to each other.
And he also tends to just give that trigger movement, goes deep in the crease just before playing his shot.
Yeah, batsmen try and do that to change length, basically. Or when you're really going for it at the end of a... Look at that, it's a long way back. That's just too much to start with, I think. I mean, he's entitled to do that when you've been in the crease for a little while, but he's too good a player to, you know, to wanting to do that too early, I think.
Yeah, once again, you see that. I mean, his comfort zone, that he prefers to play it off the back foot. But once he's shifted his weight on that back, like, he can't come back on the front.
All you can do is push hard, which he did on that occasion. So when you go back all the way, you're really saying, come on, bowl it a little bit short, or even on a length. That's going to give me the opportunity to hit you square of the wicket. So that's his reasoning for doing that.
Edged and gone. Oh, it's gone through. Not gone, but gone through. Zishan, the keeper there. That was a genuine edge, should have been taken. Instead, it's a boundary. 9 gone, 74 for 2. Well, Pawan gets a life. The projected scores suggest they go 10 and over, they can get to what the captain wanted. Maybe a little less than 10, they get to 170. Currently, theirs will settle at 164. Again, that last ball of that previous over, and Pawan, and we're talking about how he commits himself on that back foot deep in the crease. Have a look at that again.
There we go. It's gone all the way back, and then the ball is nice and straight, and it's fullish. So when that ball is, well, it should have been taken, really. But Should have been taken. He's got gloves. He's got to snaffle that. But I tell you what, when when you go back and you edge the ball, the keeper or slips when he's there has got less time to see it. But that's not an excuse. That should have been taken. And when you go all the way back and the ball's not short, yeah, you really are, you know, in two minds in what to do. Should I attack playing with a straight bat? Should I hit it over the top? I think maybe he's got to rethink.
Probably push for two here. You've got to be careful with Yashoda, because we've seen moments along with him and captain, and a while ago, along with Pavan as well, the indecisiveness has just probably saved them by a whisker in terms of a run out. 2 wickets gone. It's not a bad start. It's a good start. 77 on the board.
Good bowling. Good bowling.
Now, against a spin bowler, or conversely, there's no way you should be going back. I think the intention of every batsman should be to attack the spinner. So I'd like to see a full committed front foot when you're facing the spinner. So he's gone, I think, from a stationary position there into the shot, which is also acceptable. But the spin bowler is a slower bowler. It's totally different to the quick, so there's no way you need to be going back to a spin bowler.
It's halfway through, single to end the over. It's 79 for 2 after 10. Well, halfway through, it's time for drinks. This second outing for them. They've lost Lahiru and their captain Navindu. Yashoda's looking good. He's played the power play on half the innings. Pavan, on the other hand, also going a runner ball almost. 79 for 2 after being asked to bat first.
That's right. It's a good start, but they've got to keep going now. And as far as Hong Kong, China is concerned, they really do need to chip away a little bit and pick up the odd wicket. Here's a nice little highlight package for you. You've seen a little bit of these shots before, but there's the one you wouldn't want to see if you're number 32 on your back. That was a lovely shot that went for a maximum over cover, and there's another dismissal straight down long off's throat. So the movement patterns were good in that shot, but it wasn't enough power. And the bowlers, well, both wickets fell to Atikula. Good effort, and with a decent economy of 6.50. Time for the others to chip in and help out.
And while the emerging teams Asia Cup is on, you in Oman, do make sure that you visit one of these places. And the culture, the heritage, everything is to look out for. Amazing place. Got a bit of everything. Some old school and some modern technology. It's a place to visit for sure.
The points table looks like this now. Bangladesh A have accumulated the much needed 2 points in their first game. Afghanistan A picked up a win as well. Sri Lanka A are searching for their first points, and today could be the day for them. Both these teams are looking for momentum. Both these teams are looking for their first points, and that's exactly why the intensity is going to be higher than ever. at the halfway stage. Sri Lanka is 79 for 2, and I'm joined by Salman Bhatt. Welcome.
Thank you, Suhas. And it's a bright afternoon. Sri Lanka off to a decent start. 79. Halfway through, they'll be looking to get another 100 runs ideally, or at least get to 160 plus.
Some direct hits are not just for the sake of it, it's still a message sent to the opposition. Yes, you said 100 runs from here. They'd be quite content with 180. They can make a game. And Dushmanta would be itchy to be bowling, this time perhaps sooner.
Yes, with the addition of an extra spinner, I believe the Sri Lankans think differently about the surface. They think might be the spin will be the more effective option.
Nasrullah was excellent in the previous over as well. He created 2 opportunities. First the leading edge, and then that outside edge, which should have been snaffled by Zishan. But that's what cricket teaches you. It's a team effort, so if it's not converted into a wicket, you've got to try all over again. Dancing down the track, getting the momentum he required to send the ball sailing. Yashoda means business.
Yes, use of the feet and hits it clean over mid-off. Flat 6 this. And Yashoda, definitely it's time for him to unleash. And it was in the slot. Once he used his feet, he went closer to the pitch of the ball, got the elevation and put it over the head of mid-off, who could just see it sail for a flat 6.
Oh, what a magnificent shot. Something had to give, actually. Nasrullah was getting comfortable in the over. Will that throw him off his length?
Good cricket this, hitting one over mid-off for a 6 and a single next ball. And this is how you can have fuss-free 10 runs, 9 runs in the over, a boundary, and then start to play sensible cricket. And this is the chance which was spilled by the keeper. A regulation take at any level, any professional level. And Zishan, I think he was late. The ball had passed by the time he came across.
Did he close his gloves earlier?
Well, in that case, the ball would have hit his hands. And he might have asked the physio to come in and put on some magic spray, but I think it went before he could actually reach the place. And well, a chance for Pawan to make use of.
Absolutely right. That was the second opportunity that Nasrullah created in the over. Slower delivery that he had to wait for. Picks up a single, retained strike. 11 gone, 90 for 2. Hello cricket fans, download the ACC app now. iOS, Android, look at your phone and then scan the respective QR code.
Brilliantly bowled by Zishan. Is watching the batter right till the very end and wearing the flight. Yasin Murtaza has been attacking the stumps. And this time he goes over. Will there be a chance? No, doesn't reach the fielder. Good positive running this. Sri Lankans have been tentative today with the running. They suffered 2 casualties in the last game, and they have every right to be careful this time.
Very true. We'd like to see them throw caution to the winds, but they need to be positive at this stage. This partnership has brimmed with positivity and proactiveness too. Yasim's asking why was the second run conceded. Atiq saying, my bad. Well, the bowler is absolutely livid with this effort from Atiqullah. And just have a look. It's a casual effort, and Sri Lankans quick enough to take advantage. Once again, this is not one of those tracks where you hit through the line and hope that it will come off every time. It's gripping a bit more, it's more drier, and it's important that the set players bat through to get you to the desired total. You can reach, but the method would be a bit different. Will Pavan take his chances in this over? 5 of it so far. Kept Pavan guessing. Is this the ideal pace to be bowling on this track as a spinner?
Well, yes, as a spinner, most tracks the first thing you need to do is find a pace for yourself to operate at. Let's have a look at it. The batter is not very confident using his feet to Yasim, as 12 overs are bowled and Sri Lanka 96 for 2.
.42 of 33 for Yashoda. Pavan 13 of 13. And alongside this ground is another in Pakistan A. They've started to iron out the chinks. Had a high intensity game last night with India A. Went on the right side of things in terms of the result, but there was a lot of learning. They'd love to incorporate that as soon as possible.
Yes, they'll rather need to reflect on it and see what tactically didn't go right, and there are things certainly there that can be bettered. Once again, Ehsan, a difficult customer, and Pavan, well, he has to get going now. He's played 14 deliveries and he's on 13, and this is that time of the innings where he needs to go.
Went over him, not for the lack of trying. What a fantastic tournament it's turning out to be. The ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. But I'll tell you what, ACC's strategic focus on associate nations has been absolutely terrific, because it's been one of their key missions as well, is to raise the standard of cricket in the associate member nations, giving them the exposure and the competition they need to compete with full members at a global stage if and when the chance arises. And India A versus Pakistan A has always been a treat to watch, and so many times as they've come head to head. They've always got a good game of cricket.
It's always the game of games. India versus Pakistan, doesn't matter what the level is, and this one has been hit big over the bowler's head, into the gap, into the side screen that goes. 6 signals the umpire. So Sri Lanka and Pavan get a move on. It was long time coming, and a great shot this. Ehsan bowls with a decent pace, and that was fully utilized by Pavan on this occasion.
खान शाबाश
This time stayed back to quietly put it away for a single. Pawan has got going. 105 for 2 after 13. We had a terrific game last night as well. India A, Pakistan A. You don't have to worry about having nails at the end of the game. 183 for 8 is what India A managed after they decided to bat first. And Pakistan A in reply got close, 176 for 7.
This is how it all ended, and look at this, very satisfied Indian captain Tilak Verma. He knew that his bowlers had done a great job in the last 3 overs, and how outstanding were India A in the field. Especially that guy Ramandeep Singh. The catch he took is one for the ages, that sort of a take. Brilliant athleticism there, and a match turner.
Absolutely, it came at a very important juncture of the game as well. India was searching for a little bit more momentum, and that catch lifted everyone up. It's one thing to cover ground, it's quite another to spot the ball as well. Isn't it, Salman? Because that ball wasn't too high. It came flat, it came quick.
It was travelling, and Yasir was hitting the ball hard. And look at that Ramandeep Singh effort. Come in, fly and take it and execute it with all the brilliance that there possibly can be.
I sometimes wonder, Salman, I sometimes wonder if Raman is two fielders masquerading as one.
Some people are gifted, and it's things that they pull off tell you that they're not like others, they're special.
Oh well, Yasim did have a plan B, but the keeper wasn't in on it. Zishan cannot believe it. Yashoda breathes easy now.
Well, this was outrageous from Yasim. He just threw it as further as he could. And Yashoda, well, had he hit his foot, do we have a penalty corner in this game? That would have been a deliberate footing to the ball. That's 50 for the partnership, Pawan and Yashoda. They have got to 51 now in this partnership of 37 balls, and they need to kick on because Sri Lanka have a good platform over here.
This time, Zishan will make no mistake. And Pawan might turn only to realize that the bails have been robbed. Decision still pending. It's the third umpire who's got to tell us. But Pawan's not looking great at the moment. Couldn't believe that he didn't read the flight on it.
Full marks to Yasim Murtaza. He saw him coming, flighted it, pulled the length back a bit, and that is where the experienced spinners, they take the lead. They just have this initial feeling of what the batter is going to do next. And that was a perfect example how he pulled the length back. Let's have a look at this. This is a great angle to show how the length was varied this time around. The front foot check, maybe a different angle would be more helpful. Yeah, and the turn as well. Well, he was miles from the ball, Pawan.
He's hoping against hope at this stage, Pawan, and he knew it. He's waiting for the decision on the big screen. Murtaza. Yeah, if it was a question of front foot, then this angle tells us that he was all right, the bowler. But guess who's not all right? Batter Pawan.
Yes, really well bowled by Yasim Murtaza, and this time Zishan makes no mistake. Collects the ball and takes the bails off with ample of time. And I wonder what was confusing Pawan. Because as a batter, you mostly know the outcome. He'll make a way back to the pavilion after scoring 23 of 21 as Sri Lanka are 114 for 3.
दाने पीछे चल पास के ਉਹਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਦੇ ਫਲਾਓ ਕਾ दाने पीछे हो डक आउट द गोल
114 for 3. Yasin Murtaza turns it around, picks up a wicket. Sahan Archige, 74 games, 908 runs, 2 half centuries already. Very promising left-hander.
शाबाश यासी शाबाश
Once again, kept the batter guessing as to how much it's going to turn, how much flight is on it. 14 gone, 115 for 3.
center
115 for 3 in 14 overs. Yashoda has been excellent with the bat in hand so far. The way he's timed his aggression as well, it's been a treat to watch. Yashoda Lanka.
right arm round the wicket
Nice and early call, no. Sahan was in no hurry to take that single. Went rather quickly. Now Azaz has got to mix it up nicely because he's inheriting an over with a wicket.
As we see the wicket that just fell and the keeper doing a good job this time. We've seen that in the day games as the ball grows older, it is difficult for the new batters to put it away big time, and that is why it's very important for Yashoda to carry on. And we saw the guy making the full use of his presence for a long time was Babar in the first game, hitting 6 sixes in the last 15 deliveries, but no other batter in the first games have been able to play that fluently. So being set is very important in the afternoon games.
Yeah, Yashoda's importance, Yashoda's responsibility has increased many folds. Azaz Khan has picked up 107 wickets at an economy of 7.7. Decent in this format of the game, especially in this phase of the game. We'll have to stick to a single.
nice Marty excellent work Marty boy 51
Something that Babar Hayat mentioned before the game as well is that there was discussion around not letting the opposition convert singles into twos by understanding the dimensions of the ground better. Nazakat ensuring that the angles are covered. Yashoda on 45, just 36, and it's the way he scored those 45 runs. Played out the difficult phase as well. Now a new bowler introduced. Will he attack him? Yeah, the intent is there. Connection wasn't, hence it's only a single.
Once again, not getting the timing right. So it tells you the surface today is a bit more drier especially in the day when it's bright and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, sun beating down, the pitch will get more drier. Unless some dew arrives later on in the evening and maybe touch easier for the batters.
How about this? The angle could be a big problem for Azaz.
I wonder what the umpire said to the bowler. Well, it looks much closer in the replay, and it is as if he just patted on the back of the bowler and said, "You naughty boy, why are you appealing for this?" Can you show that?
15 gone. 119 for 3.
15 overs completed. 119 for the loss of 3, Sri Lanka 8. 5 overs to go. How much can they get here? Are we looking at a 171 inning on Malaysia?
Yeah, that passage of play between 7 to 15 has been relatively decent here for Sri Lanka A. They've lost 2 wickets for 68 runs. The first 6 as well, yielding 51 for the loss of 1. They do have wickets in their hand, as many as 7. And time has come for something to give at this moment with 2 batters in the middle, one batting at a strike rate of 123. That's Yashoda, and he'll hold the aces as well. He's been there for a while. Hong Kong, China will just try to induce a few opportunities over here. Missing out on a very good opportunity there. Wet Fuller should have been dispatched. Right time to say hello and good afternoon to Dav Watmo as well.
Hi, Mikhail, and hello, everyone watching the telecast. We're entering the most intense part of a 20-over game, and that was a gift that was not accepted. Just looked like he wanted to throw the kitchen sink at it, and in his attempt to do that, I think the head went in the air a little bit and a fresh air shot. So we have one ball bowled, it's a dot, and this is the most intense. You'll find the intensity will go up.
This one will have to be rebowled. Just straying in line over here, Nasrullah. He'll have to find his mojo soon. He can't be really in line at the moment.
And all these wides extras make a difference, you know. Look, that's a huge effort to run in this heat and bowl it, and now he has to go and do it all over again. And if that 7th ball gets hit for a boundary, then you'll be really upset with yourself.
Well, Yashoda's look good. 47 and 39. Throws his bat at it. Just falls short of the fielder, shy of the stumps at the bowler's end. Survives. They'll get another run on the overthrow. And this will go all the way as well, just to be pulled back by Mohammad Ehsan Khan. All happening here, and in the process, Yashoda will also bring up his 3rd T20 50 as well. He's stood there, he's stood out, he's battled heat, and amidst the ruins, he's anchored this innings very well.
Yeah, he did. He's batted extremely well in this heat. And he'd given up, didn't he? I think he was given up. If the ball hit the stumps, he was out, run out. But seriously, the effort that he's put in this heat has been much appreciated by his teammates, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was as if he had committed into that run, and then he realized that he was not going to make it as well. Nasrullah has been expensive, so important for one of the batters to bat till the very end if you're looking to score big. Dev, 123, still have another 4+ overs. You reckon anything close to 160, 170?
I'm looking at 170 at least. If they don't lose wickets, they continue to play some silly shots and get out, then it's going to be hard to achieve that total, but there's one chipped right in the gap. Not sure it was aimed that way, but it was a good result for the lefty.
Yeah. Yashoda, 30, 20, 50. Just threw his bat at it, turned in his hand, was not able to make it to the non-striker's end on the overthrow, got 2 more runs and completed his 30, 20, 50 as well. Very fine innings. And it's important for him to stay there till the very end. Cheeky over the wicket-keeper's head. Some runs here. They'll get a couple of more runs. Just turning it on the middle, both these batters. Did hear Salman speaking during his stint, saying that never easy for the newer batters to come in and start scoring, and that's why for the ones in the middle, we'll have to capitalize.
Well, that's the idea, but it's very difficult in this heat. I'm sure that they're very tired, but you just got to find something. You just got to continue to motor on, because when it's your day, you have to make the maximum from it, because there are days, I can assure you, failure will come, but when you get a start, you really would want to make the most of it.
He's had to wait on this one. There are open wide spaces in the deep, and that's why always for a batter to look for that second run as well.
So that's 9 off the over with the help of that wide, so they'll be looking a minimum of 10 and over. So 1 ball left, and let's see whether they can capitalise and make it a really good over.
Right, the tactician and Dav Watmore making notes of what the final 5 overs will be getting every over. How far can we get? "12 and over," Dav says, is the best way forward from here on. Slashes at this one. Straight to the fielder at cover sweeper. Yashoda will keep strike for over number 17. It's 129 for 3. Right, much anticipated clash between Bangladesh and Afghanistan coming up in a short while from now. Super Sunday doubleheader. The next match coming up 1700 hours. You really have to look forward to both these teams. They're off to winning starts in the opening games as well. They'll want to just stamp authority in this Group A fixture. Back live, he's just waited on this one. Brings out the swivel as well towards the cow corner region. He's bossing around Yashoda. And what an innings he's playing here for Sri Lanka.
Right, now could this be a big over for them? With the beauty of why I think Sri Lanka can get 12 and over is because they got 7 more wickets waiting to come in there. So they don't have to worry about the odd dismissal. Now ball 1 is a boundary. Let's see whether they can really capitalise and make this a game-changing over, which is 15, 16, 17 runs plus.
Only a single this time around. Yes, good start to the over with the boundary. Azaz will be under pressure. Never easy for a bowler to come back after conceding runs very early in his over. But then he's bowling to a batter like Yashoda, who's now seeing the ball really well.
Got to make sure that sweat doesn't drip into his eyes. Must be really hot under that helmet, eh?
Dav, you should be telling that because you were there at the pitch report. How was it?
It was pretty oppressive, and I was just standing still. If you have to run up and down that pitch for 2s and singles, it makes that really hard.
He's drilled that over mid-wicket. What a shot. Came in at a decent pace, at a good height. All he had to do was wait on it and pick his spot. And Sahans tells Yashoda, I'm joining the party as well.
Nice shot, isn't it? If you're going to bowl that pace with a little bit of width and that length, then you're asking for trouble. Not that he meant to do it, I understand, but more effort to it. Just direct the ball in a decent area. It doesn't have to be a wicket taken, just put it straight on a good length.
They have the license and the liberty to go big before the start of this over. Off-air, Dav told me minimum 12 and over. In the 4 deliveries, Sri Lanka already accumulating 12. Now, what an innings this man has played. Yashoda came in at a time and dominated as well. Unbeaten 56 runs, 2 sixes, 3 fours. Has looked good on all sides of the wicket. Took his chances as well. Unafraid to dance down the wicket, but played more inside it as well to bring up his third T20 50 and give his team a good chance of getting to a very strong total as well.
Yes, totally agree. Wonderful effort by Yashoda. And there's a chip straight down to long on, and that's unfortunately the end of Yashoda. Well made 56. And yeah, Anshuman Rath, good catch. I'm sure he'll go and have a well-earned break straight into that ice bath and get that core temperature down.
Yeah, by the end of it, a very soft dismissal over here, though it'll be referred upstairs to just check the legality of this delivery. But a much-needed reprieve, rather much-needed wicket here for Hong Kong, China. We just have to wait for a confirmation over here. Yeah, it looks touch and go, but want to believe that the fielding side would be smiling by the end of this replay. Didn't get much of distance on this. At a perfect height to Anshuman Rath, bucket hands, and he made it look very comfortable as well. Well, Yashoda, I'm afraid, may have to depart. He's played a very, very handy innings, 56 in 44, 2 sixes, 3 fours. Opened the innings and is out in the 17th over. Just goes to show the kind of appetite he's had today and the runs as well. Sri Lanka A, 141 for 4.
Veteran boys. This is a new man. Yep.
Ahan Vikramasinghe, best of 75 not out, at the age of just 23, early days in his career. 150 for him, strike rate close to 120. And in the last game, he got 31 and 18 deliveries with 3 fours. This man can hit the ball long and hard. Good time, perfect time for him to come out. Aizaz with that wicket. Quick single, one stump to aim at, but Nizakat says we'll leave it to that. 13 runs and a wicket in this over. Take a look at it. A fuller delivery. Didn't quite get underneath this. Just found the fielder Anshuman Rath had long gone. Found him to perfection. Straight into his big hands over there. Yashoda departing for 56. Sri Lanka losing their 4th wicket at the score of 142. We are into the final 3 overs.
And that was 11 runs off.
Covering mid. Is that what I'm going? It's covering leg. It's coming over for you.
As many as 6 bowlers use. Atikul has been brilliant. 2 for 26 for him. Hassan comes into the attack. This could be close. The finger goes up. Akbar Ali says that's hitting the middle stump. Hassan strikes in his 2nd spell of his very first delivery. And Ahan's stint in the middle is short-lived.
Yes, well, he had to go for it, didn't he? There's not many balls left. There's a requirement, oh, that's right in front, a requirement to continue to score as many runs. That can happen, sadly, and it happened for Ahan. He has to go. 2 balls to his face, only the 1 run against his name.
Sri Lanka half the side back in the dugout. Ramesh Mendis comes out to bat, a best of 72. So there's a lot of depth in this batting, but they need to get going and need to get the runs as well when it matters the most. Sahan in the middle batting on 15. Ehsan, as always, has been the partnership breaker. Off the mark is Ramesh as well. They'll need the big hits from here on. It's a familiar sight that Sri Lanka is wearing the last game as well, Dev. We'll take a look at this wicket once again. Just trying to go too hard at it, playing all over it. And Akbar Ali says that's missing leg. And it's dead straight in front of middle.
Yeah, it's very fast off break. When you play across the line and it is straight, you've got to make sure you hit it and not miss it. Okay, so if you keep losing wickets at regular intervals in this most intense part of the 20-over game, then you're not going to get the desired result. So they have to do a little mini repair job here and then go again. They've still got 2 overs after this, and they're not going to get their 12, I don't think, in this over.
A couple of nights ago as well, Sri Lanka had chasing. Lost a couple of wickets in the middle overs, and that really added to their woes. Just the 150, but they kept in the chase, and the rest caved in. Today as well, batting first. It's a familiar sight. A 50 for Yashoda, and the remaining batters have not been able to stand their ground. That's why it's important for the middle order to stand up and stand out. He's trying to go too hard at it. That's hit towards long on. They're pushing for the second, but Babar Hayat very quick on the ball, and a very fine hard throw as well. That's how things have panned out so far for Sri Lanka. The first wicket partnership for 27. Then they managed a few more runs, 63. But it's the wickets for 4 and 5. Another single over here. Into the final 12 deliveries, Sri Lanka 3 short of 150 for the loss of 5 wickets.
Baba, teammate. Ehsan bhai, square leg, fine leg, bro. Bowler 1-3, 13 number ball. Right arm over the wicket.
And that's a pretty decent batting card if you're a Sri Lankan supporter. Yashoda standing out with his 56, and a couple of little contributions of 20s. Nawindu both look good, and Pavan, sadly they got out when they were hoping to progress. But we have now 2 overs left, 12 balls, and I'm sure they'll be looking to get in excess of 160, 165.
That's wide of the field at long off. 1 for the arm as well. They'll complete 2 runs. Very good running. Good start as well to the 19th over. Time has come for both these batters to shift gears. And Dav rightly pointed out, something around 170 will certainly help them when they come out to defend. Ramesh Mendis, his favourite cricketer. Joe Root. A favourite cricketing moment, Test debut versus England, and favourite athlete outside of cricket, Cristiano Ronaldo. That's such a common name outside cricket. The Federers, the Ronaldos, the Messis, Dev. Who's yours? We'll talk about that after this delivery. Oh, he's got stuck underneath this one. He's got a lot of height on it, and he may have also got some distance. We'll have to wait for confirmation, but that's a freebie being offered by Nasrullah, and Ramesh says, it's time for me to tee off.
I think it's gone all the way, and that has had a lot of height, and it was well clear of any outfielder, and it just plonked just over the boundary rope. So that's a useful maximum towards their 170. Here we go, a full toss. Gee, I would think he was looking for the Yorker. Sadly, it wasn't. He'd let it go a little bit too early, which resulted in a gentle full toss. At this stage of the game, that's very much a no-no.
Yet again, a very good start to this 19th over as well. Good contributions coming in the middle for Sri Lanka. A couple of 20s. Ideally, you'd want these batters to maybe just go ahead as well, bat the distance, because the longevity in the crease decides the strength in the total as well.
9 balls left, and they've already got 9. So hopefully they can, from a Sri Lankan perspective, find another boundary in the next 3 deliveries. But no dot balls, that's number 1. And of course, the red team, the Hong Kong Chinese team, they'll be trying so hard just to minimise any sort of attacking shot like that one that they can.
They run the first run really hard, one for the arm as well. This is brilliant running. They're taking their chances. But that's what you need to do at this point. They still have another 5 wickets in hand. They want to get close to 170, maybe over 170 as well. Playing deep in his crease. It was never going to be easy to come back for the second. A throw at the keeper's end, but that was a wayward one as well. Nasrullah is not impressed, but Sri Lanka is certainly making it count in the final overs.
Yeah, you can feel the intensity up now. Just the 8 balls remaining. Another full toss, was it? 1 run.
Oh, they're stealing another run on the ricochet from the stumps. Another overthrow. Comedy of errors. Ball is going north, south, east, west. And the batters are running helter-skelter as well. Everything going Sri Lanka's way. And I'll tell you what, the penalty you pay for sometime being too accurate as well. Take a look at this and you can describe it best, Dav.
We've seen this happen a few times. And in their absolute quest to get a run out, have a look at this. This is a very... Oh, look at that. He only had 1 stump to aim at, and he took a real big overarm throw at it from a wicketkeeper and missed, which allowed another extra run to make it 3. Wow, what do we got? 6, 9, 10, 12, 14 runs off this over.
That's a powerful strike. Falls out of the field at long off. What an over this has turned out to be. 15 runs coming off the penalty made over. Stage is set for the final 6 deliveries. It's 162 for 5. Has downloaded the app, so have I, and it's your turn now. Download the ACC app right away and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Asian Cricket Council TV, and also follow us on our Asian Cricket Council Instagram page from your iOS and Android phones. Into the final 6 deliveries. It's going to be the versatile, enterprising Hassan with his final over. He'll just get that right underneath the bat. They're pushing for the second yet again. A little bit of a misfield. Very cautious today. Oh, I'll tell you what. It's been sloppy effort in the field by Hong Kong, China. They need to sharpen their skills in the middle. They're just allowing easy runs and allowing the batters to run at their will.
It's nothing more than pressure that's causing that. Just a regulation pickup. Okay, he's misfielded, but they're not taking another run. They were never going to take a second. It's the pressure. Quickly, I've got to get it and throw it in because... and then the ball bounces in a very awkward place for the receiver of it, the bowler, and can't gather it.
Missed that completely, missed everyone, everything, but will not miss the ropes. That'll go for a 4. Lucky runs. They'll accept all of it. They all count at this stage. Misfield, overthrows, and now buys as well.
Now that projected total is looking closer to 175, even closer to 180, to be honest. Still 4 balls to go, and they can find the boundary like that. That's a 6. So that takes it to 174.
Well, this is a brilliant cameo by both the batters in the middle. This partnership worth 32 and 14. What a time to bring out that 6 as well. Going low down on that one, clearing that left foot of his and finding the mid-wicket region. That was thundered over the mid-wicket fence for a massive, monstrous 6 from the bat of Ramesh.
Hard swing of the bat. That's going to be 2. That should be run out. No, very good running. Good sprint. I think he'll call for it, but I think he's made good his ground. Also wanted to say that the captain of Hong Kong China took a bit of a gamble bowling a spinner in the 20th over. It's a positive option, but at the moment it hasn't worked.
We'll need to wait and watch if they've got that extra run or it's a wicket. He's done well. That throw a little wide. Took some time for Zishan Ali to bring it down and get the bails off the groove. That's a very good second run by Ramesh. Got to give credit to these batters. They've applied the pressure on the fielders by running that first run fast and just derailing their concentration in the deep as well. And that extra bit of sprint in that first run has resulted in so many misfields and overthrows, and this running between the wickets as well has been special today by both these batters. They made it count. Sri Lanka put into bat, and they are looking to score a very formidable total as well. With 2 balls to go, they are 176 for 5.
And they've already scored 57 runs in this last phase between overs 16 to 20. And there's still 2 balls to go, as you said, Mikhail, and 180 is looking very good.
Yet again, he'll not be able to deny a single. We saw 183 being scored last night by India. Pakistan got 176, and today Sri Lanka 177 for 5, the second highest total so far. You've got to really commend the efforts of the ground staff as well to dish out some very fine sporting wickets. That's taken on the full over the bowler's head. Straight to the fielder, long off, but they'll settle for only 1. So it's been another very decent over, rather good one, should I say. 16 coming off the final over. And Sri Lanka, after being put into bat, will be very happy with this effort of theirs, having scored 178 for 5. Their batters have made it count, and it's the top 5 that have really got the runs for the side.
Yes, they've been asked to have a bat first. They lost the toss, and boy, they came out with a real determination and a point to prove. They lost the very first game, and in hot conditions, they began very well with a 51 in that first 6, and they continued to motor run and only lost 5 wickets in the end in their journey to 178. Good total, very difficult conditions in the heat, and they've done extremely well.
Oh yes, it's a very strong batting effort. As many as 6 batters getting into double figures, 4 of them crossing 20, 1 getting to a 50 as well. Yashoda was the pick of the batters because he held that one side and held the innings together as well in this innings of theirs. 178 for 5 for Sri Lanka in this innings of theirs. What an innings he played, Yashoda Lanka. 30, 20, 50 for him. But Sahan and Ramesh, brilliant partnership of 36 in 17 deliveries. As many as 6 bowlers used, 2 for 26 for Atikullah, 1 for 31 for Yasim, and Aizaz 1 for 17. But it's Yashoda Lanka who stole the show with the bat, and he certainly has his views as well to share about his innings. He's by the ringside with Suhas Vedam.
We've got Yashoda Lanka with us of Sri Lanka. Yashoda, terrific half-century first up. How are the conditions out there?
Yeah, condition is so hot today, but wicket is little good, little slow. So we had a plan and we achieved it.
The total you have on your board, you happy with that?
Yeah, it's a good total. I think it's a good total because wicket is a little bit slow and its ground is little slow. Its surface is slow. I think it's a good service. Yeah.
And finally, you have some sensational spinners as well. on yourself. Any plans, especially given that the opposition have struggled against spin before?
Yeah, his wicket is little bit so. I think I will tell you because we will try to best we do it with our spinners. So good spinners and good bowling sessions is for our team. We will try to do it.
Well, you were fantastic with the bat in hand. All the best for the second one then.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, hard work here for Hong Kong, China. They have a job at hand in a must-win like situation. They'll need to get 179 runs, close to 9 and over in 20 overs. Nizakat Khan and his boys will have to really come out hard at the Sri Lankan bowlers as well. A lot of action lined up on the other side. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with lots more. We're coming to you live from the Oman Cricket Academy, Day 3, match number 5. All set for the chase with Hong Kong, China having a job at hand in the men's emerging teams Asia Cup 2024.
Okay, when Hong Kong, China won the toss and elected to bowl, I'm sure they were hoping to restrict the opposition to under 160, but they ran up against some committed Sri Lankan batsmen. There we are. Some good contributions right through. And some terrific batting with the openers, Yashoda particularly, who was the pick of the players who got a half century, and there's the first wicket. Only 5 wickets fell for the innings, and that was the first one. There was plenty of good shots on offer. That was probably the best one. A cover drive that went for 6. Here was a chip. A very good shot, but not enough power. That one here should have been taken by the keeper. It wasn't. A life was given, and then bang, look at this. Another one. That was a really good shot, and that's a sign of a good play when you hit it straight like that. But then when you dance down the wicket and miss it, you're asking for trouble to get it stumped. So runs kept flowing right throughout the 20 overs. The odd catch that was taken, but with only losing 5 wickets in 20 overs, you can be fairly confident that they're going to get a good score.
Oh yeah, they kept on piling the runs. The batters kept on finding the boundaries at will, and with 5 wickets in hand, they managed 178 in 20 overs. A very good, spirited and committed batting effort by Sri Lanka. This after they were put into bat. Hong Kong China certainly missed a trick or two as they allowed the batters some easy runs with a lapse in the field as well. Pick of the bowlers, Atikullah 2 for 26 at an economy of 6.5. He stood out. A wicket apiece for Ehsan, Yasim and Aizaz as well. Otherwise, it was a batting show and a batting masterclass as well by Sri Lanka. Both these teams have dropped their first games, and that's why winning in this contest is equally important for them to keep their hopes alive for a semi-final spot as well. Otherwise, they'll be playing catch-up, and you ideally want to consolidate your position in the points table. That's because Group A at this stage lies interestingly poised, because we have 2 very strong teams in Bangladesh A and Afghanistan A having registered their first wins in their first game. Sri Lanka with a win today will certainly help their cause, and Hong Kong China, if they can put it past Sri Lanka, they'll also stay alive. The one losing today will certainly be languishing at the bottom of the points table as well. This is Group A, Day 3, match number 5 in the Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. We're all set for the chase. It's going to be a pressure chase for Hong Kong China, but they've played a lot of cricket in this part of the world in the Oman Cricket Academy. It's hot, it's humid, it's breezy as well, as Hong Kong China need 179 runs in 120 deliveries at a required rate of little under 10 as the umpires Akbar Ali and Nasser Hussain make their way to the middle. We're all set for an exciting and enthralling chase at the Oman Cricket Academy.
A huddle, just to final words from the captain. Don't drop catches. They dropped quite a few when they were playing Afghanistan A. And then, of course, they've got themselves a good score against the opposition. They'll fancy to get a few wickets in that power play and put that pressure on straight away on Hong Kong China.
Yes, it would be interesting to see when Sri Lanka opt to bowl with spinners, because they've opted for an extra spinner in their attack today. The only change that they made to their playing 11 was playing an extra spinner. Probably having had a look at the surface, they might have thought some extra help for the spinners there. We shall see how it works for them as the Hong Kong openers have their work cut out. It's important that Zishan, who's had a good year, he responds to the requirement of his team, and it will be very important how they play the first 6 overs.
Yes, the openers and a start, and then their mainstay, Captain Nazakat and Babar Hayat. We'll be expecting them to get runs for them. Ramesh and Sahan are there. Zishan, the keeper. Jersey number 3. 45 matches, got 4 50s, an average of 27. Strike rate is not bad, 137. That's over 45 games. That's a decent strike rate. And his partner, Anshuman Rath, 66 games for him. He's got more experience than his partner. And to bowl, the only change in the Sri Lanka side, Nimesh Vimukti. 47 games, left arm orthodox. So that's the only change that has been brought in this match, to add an extra spinner.
Left arm round the wicket.
Slip in position. We've got a wide long off, the man outside the circle, and a deep mid wicket, the other one outside the circle.
Play.
179 to win.
Right on target. The very first delivery from Nimesh is in the desired area. And Zishan, well, he needs to kick on for his team's chances. This is worked on the onside. Zishan this year has had a great time. He's been averaging 40. Just having a look at the action from Nimesh.
Next one.
And darts the ball into the right-hander. No flight in the first two deliveries that we have seen. And pretty obvious with the field restrictions in the first 6 overs. So coming back to Zishan Ali, 510 runs in 2024 at an average of 39 and a strike rate of 148 Sikandar. That shows a very rich run of form.
Well, if your career strike rate is in the 135, 136 range, you're very good. He's played 45 games, so he must be doing something right. A.B. de Villiers in his career was around 135, 36, his strike rates. But that's all about the number of games you've played, if you can maintain that. His partner Anshuman Rath has got 60 plus games, so he's got more experience than Zishan. He's been around for Hong Kong China for a while now. And if you know your player, Anshuman Rath, an all-time favorite is Kumar Sangakkara. And his first cricketing memory is getting my first cricket bat. I think that should be many of them out there getting their first cricket bat. Something that you don't forget. Good fielding there at Kaba. Who was your all-time, I wouldn't call it favorite, but someone you grew up watching and wanted to be like him, like he likes Kumar Sangakkara?
Said Anwar. Who else? The umpire is unmoved as Nimesh pleads his case. And this is way outside of some. Extremely ambitious this appeal was, and rightly so. Nasir Hussain does not respond. First over gone, and Hong Kong China 3 for no loss.
Covering leg for you. Covering leg. Coming right arm round.
Sahan is the other bowler, so it'll be a spin duo attack. Sahan Archigay, 74 matches, 1 for he's 41 wickets to his name, and his best is 4 for 8.
Dushan, ready.
And he'll be coming round the wicket to the right-hander. Oh, it's just around his hands. Ramesh Mendes was the fielder there.
Yes, it was great fielding. Not so good the ball. It was there to take advantage. But Fielder saving 3 runs for his team, and Zishan would feel a bit touch unlucky not to have got it away for a boundary. And this one is cut straight to the cover point fieldsman. Dot balls will build pressure on the Hong Kong China batters.
Slog. Protection is there. There's a long off and a deep mid wicket. Just for that shot where the batter would try to play it against the spin. All Group A games today. It's a little tough group, this one. Afghanistan A, Bangladesh A and Sri Lanka A. Only 2 can qualify for the semis out of the 4. Hong Kong China is the 4th team. Hong Kong China looking to get a healthy power play score without losing too many.
They'll definitely need to take advantage of the first power play as they're chasing down 179, which is a very healthy score. And we know that as the ball gets older in the day games, it gets difficult to get it away. So the batters, they will need to pull up. They'll need to get a decent score in the first power play.
2 gone and it's 7 for no loss.
Bye-bye.
That's points table for Group A, and Sri Lanka A would like to have a big win today, just to work on that net run rate of minus 0.55. Because there could be a chance where you end up with the same number of points, more than 2 teams. Fielding so important. Hong Kong China today wasn't really of the highest order.
Yes, some misfields, some casual efforts enabling the batters to go through with the extra runs, and definitely Hong Kong China will have their work cut out in the games to come. Just look at this, overthrows costing them on a couple of different occasions. And I must admit that these overthrows were better placed than some of the strokes from the Sri Lankan batters.
It was a drop catch by the keeper.
Yes, a regulation one.
Down the wicket and smashes it over mid-on. Umpire signal would go up all the way to signal the maximum first from Hong Kong China in the game.
Yes, Zishan uses his feet and gets closer to the ball and hits it over mid-on. And 6 runs to Hong Kong China, and they need this. They need as many as they can get in the first 6 overs to make their job easy at the later stages. So it's only 14 and we are into the 3rd over, halfway through already. So they'll need a few more of these.
Yeah, not a bad shot, keeping in mind that the fielder had now been pushed back at long on. He's decided to go on the offside with a reverse sweep.
Yes, this was dragged from within the stumps, and these days this is a very popular stroke, one that earns a lot of runs to the batters. Once again, he uses the feet and places it in the gap, and another boundary. So he's got some momentum going, Zishan. He's making the effort. He knows that this won't be an easy target if they don't use the power play really well. so he's up to take the challenge.
It was hit hard and it was hit straight, so no chance for mid-off to cut it off or chase it down. Some good clean hits in the over, 13 already, with the last ball coming up. Good over for Hong Kong China. They finish off at 20 for no loss after 3.
179 to win for Hong Kong China. 20 for no loss at the end of 3. Can they get there? What do you feel? Can they get there?
Kawan udah.
Anshuman on strike now with the off spinner. Listening to Yashoda at the innings break, he said that the wicket is on the slower side, and it wasn't really easy with the heat also in the afternoon to get that stroke play going at will. So then that adds as an advantage with an extra spinner in the Sri Lankan bowling lineup.
කවුද? විකට් කෙලින් දාගන්න, 3 කෙලින් දාගන්න. කොටි keeper.
Chance. It's a well judged single there.
Yes, runs have got to come from both ends, and boundaries as well of this new ball, because as it gets older, the ball, it's going to be difficult to take it away. Once again, just a single within the circle. The batters are not getting the desired elevation to go big. Either they've been a touch short, the bowlers, or been really full and quick through the air.
Oh, yes. He was asking for trouble, trying to reverse that from in front of the stumps, and the ball just sneaked through under the bat. He didn't look in a very good position playing that. Seems like it was a premeditated approach. He decided he's going to do this. Have a look at this. If it hadn't gone to the stumps, he would have been plumb leg before wicket. So either way, he takes that long walk.
Yes, it was on cards. Anshuman Rath leaves. He got 6 of 10, and Hong Kong China are 24 for 1.
Back to positions, please. Man, middle stump. I want to go.
New batter in, the captain, Nazakat Khan. 124 matches for him, Salman Butt.
What have I got to do with it, Sikandar?
You must be the first one to play for him, for the country. 124.
Well, I think that is in total his T20 career. And Nazakat is a tall batter with a good reach, long levers. And today the captain has to deliver. If he sees his team going forward in this tournament, today is the day to deliver.
End of the successful over. 4 gone, 25 for 1.
So this is the first wicket. If you missed out, Anshuman Rath trying to reverse sweep one. He on earlier occasions tried his luck with the use of the feet, wasn't successful, and then he opted for this option, which didn't work as well. So in the end, he had to go. It's up to Nazakat and Zishan now to make amends, to build up a partnership, which is much required by the Hong Kong China team.
Not bad by the Sri Lanka A captain, because what he did was, for Nazakat, he blocked his scoring area long on and deep mid-wicket, so he knew he's not going to take a chance with that 77-meter boundary from the batting crease. Forced him to try and play something on the offside, and that reverse sweep cost him his wicket. He hasn't got hold of it. It's in the air, but will just cross that fielder and will cross the rope as well. Yeah, a little living dangerously kind of a shot.
Yes, not middling it, but at least he's shown some intent, some positive energy over there on the crease, which is much required by the Hong Kong China team. It's their captain, Nazakat, and he knows that he's got to make use of new ball, because it's easier to hit it away. There's no movement of the pitch or in the air, so he needs to take advantage of that. It's the 5th over in progress, and just 10 balls remain in the power play.
Yeah, second time in a row he's taken one hand off the handle. He's got the ball near the rope once again, finishing off with a couple. He's standing in his place and playing deliveries which are wide outside the off stump, and automatically one hand comes off. That's why he doesn't get much distance in the shots.
Yes, trying to give himself room, and the bowler intelligently bowling it away from his range, but still long levers. Nazakat is a tall man, and he was able to reach the length, provided that he took his hand off. So now there's a change in the field. There's deep point. This one played to short mid-wicket. Dot delivery. Well, there's a shadow of one of the light towers just from where the bowler starts his run-up, and we see a lot of grounds in the world where sometimes the shadows also cross the pitch, and at times the batters can be distracted. And this is the inside edge, and this will be a certain boundary. Lucky runs for Hong Kong China, but the intent is there.
He's made up his mind, Nazakat Khan. He's not going to be just sticking around and doing nothing. In fact, he's just throwing his bat at everything that's coming. The only thing you notice probably that he's moving away. Every shot that he's playing is exposing his stumps, which is why anything outside of the off stump is making it difficult on himself to get bat on ball.
Well, I think he's looking to go over covers or mid-off, and he not middling at the moment. Once again, he gives himself room, and this is in the air, and a chance to be taken, and Sri Lanka hold on. And there's a second wicket down for Hong Kong China, and this time Nipun is the bowler, and the fielder who ran back took a good catch in the end.
Yeah, we called it. Have a look at it again, how he backs away and then makes it difficult for himself. He's trying to reach the ball. Again, one hand off the handle, no power in the shot, and he gets caught just around that 30-yard circle. Yeah, he'll be really upset and livid with himself. Gave himself 3 opportunities, and now Nazakat Khan goes. That's a big wicket for 11. 35 for 2.
Babar Hayat, one of the mainstays of Hong Kong China today. He's got a task at hand. 35 for 2, Hong Kong China in 5 overs. Has the target in front of him. 144 still required in 90 balls. Everything's screaming. It's Babar Hayat time. Ishan Malinga. 7 wickets. Economy of 8.2. And he's got him. What a start for Ishan this game. Targets the stump and sends it cartwheeling.
That's a good sight, isn't it, when you're a fast bowler? Unfortunately for Zishan, 18 runs, well made, but 14. But I just wonder if you could just, here's the replay of it. Just an un-agricultural heave across the line, and he had to pay the penalty. So that is the 3rd wicket that's fallen within the power play, 35 for 3.
Battering boys, back to position, please.
Azaz Khan, 48 not out, his highest, 107.98 that strike rate. Ishan is spewing fire. No warm-up deliveries whatsoever. Right on the money.
I don't need to warm up because it's so hot.
Right, now 2 new men at the crease. Just what captain wanted for Sri Lanka A. Slip in place. And a pacer featuring amongst wickets. It's happening for the first time for Sri Lanka A in 2 games. Oh, this was quick as well. And this was straight enough as well, says the umpire. Ishan on a hat-trick, and it's a dream start for this game.
What a wonderful start for Ishan. Unfortunately, again, Azaz, he copped a good one. First ball, straight as a die, right on that middle stump. And if you miss it, you're going to be in strife. I think taking middle and leg, perhaps a leg stump, I don't think the umpire had too much of a problem raising that finger. A lot of joy on the face of the fast bowler and the Sri Lankan team. So unfortunately, it's a 0 for Mohammad Aziz. And that's the 4th wicket that's fallen in the power play.
$35 for 4. Martin Coetzee. 544 runs, 3 half centuries and a century in this format.
Now the question is, Suhas, can he get a hat-trick? Will it be the first hat-trick in this tournament, in the ACC Emerging Tournament in Oman? Let's see.
A cradle of slips for the hat-trick ball. Martin on strike. In the end, it becomes a full toss. That wasn't too friendly, though. Martin keeps it out. It was supposed to be a missile tailing in as a Yorker. 2 wickets back-to-back for Ishan. What a start for him in this game. And then the hat-trick ball. We're okay with Malinga bowling a Yorker or attempting one, isn't it?
Well, I think the ball hit the bat more than the bat hitting the ball. It's another good delivery. And he's really made an impact in this game, I tell you. But I was sitting here having a think, you know, what's the mindset of Hong Kong? They won the toss against a very good full member, you know, as an associate member. They put the Sri Lanka into bat. When it's their turn to bat, they walk out needing just under 9 and over. It must be difficult for them, you know, so they come out aggressive. That's fine if it comes off. If it doesn't, 4 wickets down in the power play, and it really is a difficult task. I'm sure they'll learn from this, though.
Yeah, it's also important to ensure that you're not lagging behind too much in the net run rate column, because some games will go your way as well as you improve in the tournament. Oh, that run did not go unchallenged. It needed 3 lines of defense. That was quite a throw then. End of the power play. Over the ball to go. With the ball to go. Babar was watching the fielder just to see if it's going to be his end that they're throwing at. I think it's a test of his fitness as well. Last time was feeling a little iffy with that knee, but if he can run that, he's all right. That's great news for Hong Kong China. 36 for 4. Babar needs to come to the rescue. Last ball of the power play. Catcher is the call. Man in the deep. Almost got there. Yashoda Lanka. In Ishan's book, that should have been a catch. Babar's off the mark. Perhaps not mentally. 37 for 4.
Power play finishes. Middle? Perfect. Power play finishes.
37 for 4, Hong Kong, China. This power play surely belonged to the team in blue, Sri Lanka A. At this stage, if you juxtapose the scores of these two teams, 51 for 1, Sri Lanka A. Way ahead. Hong Kong, China need to put an act of resurrection, and Babar needs to lead that mission. Soft-handed, and that single taken by Babar. They knew they were chasing a slightly bigger total than what they would have wanted to. Wanting to be a little cheeky, Rath found that his middle stump was a thing of past. Problems continued as the catching was excellent. Ramesh Mendes on that occasion. Then Ishan came in and double jolt. Was on a hat-trick for a moment. No problem there for Ali to raise his finger. That was straight enough. And for the first time in 2 games, pace for Sri Lanka A has picked up wickets. Martin's batted in difficult situations before. He has the experience to bail a team out of a difficult situation. 141 and 82 balls, the required rate screaming 10.3. They need to target a bowler. Malinga at the other end is spewing fire. Nipun's already picked up a wicket. Who do they target here?
Yes, the expectations, I have to say, a little bit heavy on Babar Hite's shoulders. He's certainly one player who can, you know, is capable of getting a big score and getting close to this total. But I can just feel for him that already 4 wickets down. They're in the 7th over. There's only 13 left after this. What does he do? You know, you're almost damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But it'll be a good test, though.
Excellent delivery that to curtail Babar's options. Last game, it wasn't a question of skill set nor the mindset. This is what Babar Hayat can do on his day. He will make the opposition pay for every mistake they make. And if it's in the arc, then you don't need to worry about the ball not landing beyond the rope. So sensational, absolutely fluent on the offside. And Babar Hayat always plays a good innings when his team needs it the most. Can this be another day? He does so. I'll tell you what, if Babar has to get 10.4 run over from here on for the next 13 overs, he would need extra pair of hands, and that's exactly what Courtesy has to be. That's exactly what Martin has to be.
Well, he's not going to do it by himself. He's going to have to get some meaningful contributions from whoever he partners with. And he's on strike again. He's faced 6 deliveries. And he's certainly got the potential to accelerate. Well done, Babar Hayat. Keep it ticking over. Wait for the ball in your zone and give it some.
7 gone, 42 for 4. And at the ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024, the next one would be Bangladesh A versus Afghanistan A. 2 teams that know the definition of momentum as they won their opening games, and they'll be looking forward to continue that momentum into their second game as well. And these are 2 teams which have very quickly found their, not just the winning mojo, but the balance required in these conditions. Ishan Malinga. Oh, he's targeting the Yorker. The captain tells Ishan, run, steam in if you want, and target the stumps. That's exactly what he's done. All-time favourite cricketer, Brett Lee. I'll tell you what, Ishan, if he's watching, he'll be mighty proud of you. Fastest bowler in Sri Lanka is his cricket ambition. And favourite athlete outside cricket, Usain Bolt.
Speed.
All those 3 answers were about speed, you see.
Well, that speed didn't help in that delivery, though. It was got to get his radar right with it.
Yeah, it was about speed, not direction.
No, you can give him that. Look at that, just a agricultural heave across the line. And then that one also, you perish if you're going to miss it if it's straight. Not a difficult decision to give. Good pace by this boy. And the hat-trick ball, I tell you, that was straight too, but a little bit over pitch, and it beat him for pace, but the ball crashed into the bat.
Oh, that was there to be driven, but really well stopped by Yashoda Lanka. That's what he brings to the game. You put him somewhere in the deep, he's there for you. Inside the 30-yard circle, he's still one of the best. Hong Kong, China being made hard work. Well, you could say, being made to work hard for their runs.
And already I can see a slight difference. The pace of Sri Lanka is straight, more or less, fullish, and they're getting their rewards, whereas the previous half of the game was a lot of wide and short deliveries, over-pitch deliveries, and not easy, I guess, when you're playing against a full member country.
It's a shot that he plays well, Babar. He might get a single at the end of the day for it, but it's a shot that will make him feel much better as he frees his arms, swivels.
Yes, the interesting thing too, I read there that his idol is Brett Lee, but his surname's Malinga. And why not Lasith Malinga? Slinger Malinga. You know, probably different action, I know, but, you know, from a namesake. I think that's worth a mention.
Oh, that's a terrific shot from Kurtze. This perhaps is testimony to the word stand and deliver. No one moved an inch.
Well, there may be 4 down, but that's not going to stop. Have a look at this shot. A little bit short, gave himself some room though, but the hands went right through the line of the ball. And it was met with full force, and it just rocketed to the boundary. Well done. Bowler was a little bit upset. How dare you hit me for 4? It happens.
50 comes up for Hong Kong, China. Now, as expected, he wants to target the block hole now. Good comeback by Ishan. 8 gone, 50 for 4.
Enjoy yourselves, partner. Enjoy yourselves.
If I'm getting closer, let me know.
Huh?
If I'm getting closer,
Yeah, I'll let you. You'll be duly informed. No problem. Right arm over. Ishan. Right arm over.
178 for 5, Sri Lanka A. And Hong Kong, China in reply are 50 for 4. They've just about started a partnership here. And you could see some momentum gained in the previous over as Ishan was targeted. That was a wonderful shot by Kurtze. Outside off, he got the width, didn't hold back. Here comes the wrecker-in-chief of the previous game, Dushan Hemanta. 4-wicket haul? Yes. 5-wicket haul? Absolutely. Picked up 6 wickets in the previous game. And his team managed to pick 7 wickets. And even in the 7th, he was apart. Now this is going to be a battle within a battle. Babar trying to score at 10.7 and over versus Dushan, who's one of their main bowlers.
Yeah, no wonder what the expectations are on the young leg spinner. He did so well in the previous match. What are his teammates thinking? What is he thinking? What is his family thinking? Can you repeat that performance? It's going to be very difficult to do that. Will nicely push down the ground for a single, but this little bit on Babar Hyatt, he started slow in the last match too, but he scored at a 281 strike rate in his last 16 balls in the previous game.
And Dushan Hemanta was excellent in the previous game. He was introduced in the 14th over. And Afghanistan were cruising at one stage. Oh, here he has been attacked. What a way to welcome Dushan Hemanta. If Kurtze sees it in the arc, it will be out of the park. He doesn't look at the scoreboard, he only looks at the situation.
That was a little bit too full. Have a look right up there, but he still has to be hit properly. And he lowered his centre of gravity down nicely and hit through the line of the ball. Good shot, slog sweep, that's what it's called. Did that very well.
Ball retrieval,
14 of 10 now. 2 wonderful shots from the bat of Martin. One through the offside. A hoik, but well controlled one. On the leg side is Dushan feeling the pinch. Dropped it slightly short, but he has the protection he needs in the deep. Dushan. So that makes it 8 of the over so far, with Babar to face once again. Oh, with the shot selection as well and the intent, it almost feels like Babar wants to play Tilak Verma-esque innings like Tilak did last time, trying to be the circuit breaker, not going for the big shots initially.
Well, he certainly got the ability to accelerate, doesn't he?
But if that's the case, then he's leaving it to Martin to try and curb this net run rate, which is at 10.7 at the moment.
It's not easy, is it?
Absolutely, coach. You put your coach's hat on. I've seen off the mic as well. He was
And my
suggesting
coach's
this is what they should have done.
My coach's hat. It's the easiest place to play the game is right here. And there it is. It's a wicket. On the 6th ball of his over, a lovely flighted delivery. I think that turned a little bit. And there it is, his first wicket. Can he get another clutch? I don't know.
That one spun a lot. Martin didn't have it covered. Yeah, you leave home, your bills would be robbed. Tempting the batter to draw him forward. All this is a skill, and Dushan has plenty of it. 15 or 12 for Martin, 59 for 5. Inbox Yasim Murtaza, 905 runs, 3 half-centuries notched up, and a couple of those half-centuries were at crucial junctures of the game. Today, along with Babar Hayat, Hong Kong, China need him to come good with a bat in hand. Required rates marching to its own drumbeat at this stage, 10.9. They need to curb it and perhaps target an over as well. One of the most experienced in the side, Mendes. "61 wickets, economy of 7.1. That's absolutely fine at this stage. He's played Test cricket for Sri Lanka. When it comes to T20s as well, hasn't played much of T20s, of course, but here's an opportunity for him to make a case. Off late, the finger spinners have started to find their feet in Amarat. 9 gone, 59 for 5, and this was the 5th wicket. Martin dragging his back foot. Easy work for the keeper.
It was, because he had he had a good look at it, because what happens is that leg break bowler will just drift a little bit in the air and then spin away from that right-hander. And that gives a very good look for the wicket-keeper to just glove it cleanly and just take the bails off. That's the beauty of a wrist spinner. You know, it's a wicket taker. This boy is a wicket taker. Wrist spinners are wicket takers. And you saw that with Pakistan, with the left arm Chinaman.
A very quiet single taken on the leg side. It's interesting that this game can accommodate that at a required rate, 11.2. Babar's got to go big here. Now at the moment, both these batters are looking for a single at least. He's looking at the handle in dismay. Yeah, there might be a change in Willer. He's not happy with it. You could feel it as a batter, isn't it? Oh, this was very good. Not too far away from the off stump.
That just come in with the arm. I don't think it was a deucer or anything like that. I think it just went on with the arm.
3 runs of this over. It's a good start for Ramesh. 62 for 5 at the halfway stage, Hong Kong, China. And it's going to be time for drinks. A lot to think about for Hong Kong, China. It has to be despair to bring them out of despair. 18 of 14 for Zishan. Again, it's not just the starts. Someone had to continue. Even Martin's inning turned out to be a flash in the pan. And all eyes on Babar now. Yasim's credentials with the bat in hand cannot be questioned. He's one of the most phenomenal players you see. Very fluent through the offside as well if you give him room. But can he do it when it matters the most?
Well, there's a couple of decent shots coming up in your selection of highlights. And this one is an ugly shot, I have to say. When you do that, you've got to make sure that you make contact with the bat, with the ball rather. And here's another risky shot that got away with it on that occasion. But then the weight was too far on the leg side, reaching out for the ball on the offside. All he could manage was pop it up in the air. And there's another very agricultural shot, and that one was nice and straight and fast. And it was a result of umpire's finger going up. And there's continuing on hitting with Kutza. That's a very good slog sweep that went for 6. And look at this little drift in the air, drew him into the shot, overbalanced because it turned. He didn't make contact and he lifted that back foot. And that's an easy stumping.
Babar still out there, and he's a ray of hope for Hong Kong, China. He's turned games around so many times, and Yasim will have to be the extra pair of hands that Babar needs to try and tame this total. 117 required in the last 10 overs for them. Hong Kong, China. Sri Lanka A would be mighty proud, as the pacers are amongst the wickets as well. Ishan picked up 2 on the trot. 1 for Dushan, 1 for Sahan. Nipun is amongst the wickets too. One of the most beautiful countries on earth, and here is why. There's something for the adventure junkie, there's something for the nature lover. Be it the seas, be it the desert, be it wildlife, Oman has to be your place. And of course, add cricket to your itinerary, as Oman Cricket Academy is going to give you games that you'll remember for a long time. Much like this, Bangladesh A to take on Afghanistan A very soon. 5:30 local time. That's what we have on our hands for a second game. And these are two teams who know what it means to win in men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. And that's exactly why this contest is going to be even more exciting, as they'll try to one-up on each other. Try and find out the chinks in the armory of the opposition, as Dushan will try to do that with a batter in front of him, Yasim. There are some counter signs that a keeper is trying to give the spinners. I'm very excited to know what they could be. Always telling them
Let's play.
where the batter is standing, what he's trying to do.
Five already back in the dugout for just 62. Hong Kong, China have just not been able to figure out the chase here as yet. With Babar still around, they'll fancy their chances. It's looking very tough. Babar realizes that he hasn't got much left in the tank in terms of partners who would be proper batters. So he's got to do it all alone, along with the tail. Dushan played a spectacular role in the first outing for Sri Lanka A. 6 wickets and a catch to his name. And if you want to know more about him, Sana Jayasuriya is his all-time favourite. 96 World Cup is the moment, the cricketing favourite moment, and All Blacks, the rugby, is his favourite outside cricket.
Nicely played. Not a bad time for Dushan Hemanta to have a word with Dev Watmore, who was with the 1996 World Cup winning team as well. He's right here with us on comms. Good time to pick his brains. Contrasting halves in this match. First innings, 178 for 5 is what Sri Lanka had got. And in the chase, 59 for 5 is where Hong Kong China found themselves at one point. Not an easy surface to get in and start playing your shots. You have to really bide time and settle in. A batter of Babar's stature has consumed 16 deliveries for only 11. Very uncharacteristic. Not able to find the gaps. This has been a very fine over. Only 2 runs coming in over number 11. Work to do for Hong Kong, China. Their asking rate close to 13. It's 64 for 5. Something has to give at this stage. Things have gone really quiet. Yasser Murtaza walking out, Sikandar. They've had a drinks break. You reckon a discussion on the cards would have stated that one of the batters needs to take charge in the middle.
Themselves to blame, the way they went about with the chase. They were throwing their bat at everything, trying to get, what, half the score in the power play, and it didn't work out for them. But this can work out for you. Download the app, the ACC app, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Asian Cricket Council TV, to watch live and not to miss any moment. The action-packed ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup.
That was so close to the leg stump as well. Equally easy for the batter to negate and dispatch that somewhere into the crowd or stands. How did Babar Hayat miss it? But very good glove work behind the stumps by the wicketkeeper Lahiru Dara on that occasion. This time though gets quickly into position and finds the fielder at deep square leg. Runs coming in singles. I wonder where are the boundaries at this moment. They've completely dried up. 20 balls since the last boundary. Just documents the struggles for the batters in the middle. Make that 21.
Yeah, that's almost 4 overs. Chase is an art. And they won the toss and decided to chase. Usually you see that sides just opt for it. Impact seems outside. Maybe bat on it as well, because the way it's traveling can't be pad. Yeah, it's the bat. Just having a check on the boundary. They finished running 2. Is it a 2 or a 4?
I reckon the fielder did well, yeah. Just came down in time, pushed it back, beautifully done. Saved a couple of runs as well. Yashoda Lanka, 50 with the bat. And some valiant efforts in the field as well. Runs given, 69 for 5. This asking rate is climbing over 1310 needed and 48, 5 wickets in hand. Hong Kong, China. Oh, again, have to see where did that ball pitch. Half-hearted appeal by the bowler.
Yeah, some part of the bat there.
Much improved effort by Sri Lanka with the bat early on in the field today and with the ball as well. It's been an all-round effort. They wanted to take a couple of boxes where they felt they faltered. Good turnaround, Sikandar.
Yeah. They look like a different unit on the field. Just looking at Hong Kong, China, what they could be thinking now, 109 or 46 balls, that's a very tall ask. But they should try to get as close as possible to that total, because they need to make sure that the margin of defeat is not huge. net run rate gets destroyed. You got to keep all the aspects open for yourself as a team.
Yeah, absolutely, Sikandar. 9 catches dropped in the last game by the Sri Lanka fielders, and while they were batting, there were 2 run-outs, and today it's been a 360. They'll push for the second, but still it's the boundaries and the big hits that are completely dried up. 27 deliveries since the last boundary. Babar Hayat batting on a conservative 16 of 23, a strike rate of 69. That's not the Babar Hayat we know of, but our batting conditions difficult on the surface. Another very quiet over, but you cannot take anything away from the Sri Lankan A bowlers as well. They've kept it very tight in the width of the stumps. Another quiet over, 72 for 5.
107 required in 7 overs. We will need a lot of Babar Hayat magic for this to happen. Do you think Hong Kong China can chase this down?
The red ones is Hong Kong China. You see they've lost too many wickets in those dots that you can see. Not many big buildings there. It's been missed by everyone, including the keeper. More runs here. I think they'll be off the inside edge. It's an undercut there.
As much of credit you want to give the Sri Lanka A bowlers, we'll take a look at that once again. Never easy for the wicketkeeper as well when it gets a faint inside edge. You're chasing something around 179 and your batters in the middle are batting at a strike rate of 63 and 66. And certainly it tells a picture and a story, Sikandar. 2 ways of looking at it. One, obviously, yes, the fielding and the bowling has been spectacular. And the surface as well. I don't think the ball is actually coming onto the bat as nicely as it did in the couple of days. Again, a very ambitious shout by the bowler there.
Yes, slightly on the slower side, the pitch, but you've got to improvise. Babar Hayat has got enough experience to understand what is required out here. Smashed.
And finally, that and finally moment when it comes to a 6 here for Hong Kong China. Breaks the shackles in the slot. And those long levers coming in very handy by this tall frame of Babar Hayat. That one kept low. The one-handed shot coming into play. Yeah, I reckon the surface is a little different. We'll take a look at that 6 once again. Very nicely executed.
Yeah, sheer muscle. Everything behind it.
Good over this, much needed one, but they'll need to double it in the next as well. 11 coming off over number 14. Hong Kong China, 83 for 5. Nimish getting an opportunity in this game into his final over. That's a very nice strike. Premeditated. He had decided very early that he'll give the charge. That's into the stands as well. 15 rows behind. What a terrific start to the 15th over.
Yeah, that's the point. you got to try and get as close as possible to that total that you're chasing. So even if you end up losing a game, the margin if a defeat is not huge. Nicely done, just came down and got underneath the ball.
Over to Babar Hat now. Nimesh Vimukti opened the bowling as well with the new ball in the power plays. He's done a very good job by the end of it. Babar Hat, after that 6, will have those eyes wide open. 89 and 34. He can turn it around in a couple of overs. We've seen it in the past as well. But he's not been allowed the width or the length to play his kind of cricket in the middle. He's a free-flowing batter when the ball is in his arc, Babar Hayat. But look at that strike rate today for him. Yasim will have a go at the left arm orthodox spinner, and that's a good ploy as well.
Yeah, strike rates would be different. Usually the message comes out when you lose 5 wickets inside 10 overs. Your coaches and your seniors tell you go play the full 20. And to play the full 20, Babar knows there's not much behind him, so just keep batting on. And plus, yes, on the slower side, the pitch, we've talked about that. But these kind of shots will always be a part of Babar Hayat's innings. He's got a lot of muscle power, and he's played that very straight.
Yes, he's all about finding that ball delivered in the zone that he really likes. And this was once again pitched up. Clears that left foot of his. Long levers, extension of the arms. So much of power and force imparted in his shots. There again, quicker, flatter, back of the length. Keeping it to a single. Another good over. 11 of the last, 14 of this one. 24 in the last 2 overs, done with over number 15, Hong Kong, China. 97 for 5 with 82 needed from 30.
guys.
$178 for 5, Sri Lanka A, and Hong Kong, China, 97 for 5. Yasim hit a terrific shot not too long ago. Babar is in some good form. This partnership has just started to flourish. 38 of 36. The required rate 16.4. They've got to go big. Not look at the situation, just their skill set here. They've got to go big because Babar and Yasim, both of them have the game to score 82 of 30 and the experience as well on this ground. Ishan is on fire though. That Hoik will only grant him a single.
Well, the degree of difficulty is pretty high, isn't it? It's a lot to ask. Is already 5 wickets down, and with each wicket that goes, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. So, but they're giving it a try. The last phase between overs 11 to 15, no wicket fell, 35 runs. They could have done a little bit better, but the challenge is ahead of them now.
14 of the previous over. So long gone in place, who's been asked to go slightly wider. Because Yasin loves that region. Ishan, is he going to be straight in full? I had to take a longer route to complete that run. Yasin. Just a couple of balls ago. Suddenly, he was caught jogging and the keeper was ready. Yasim had just about made it, but the keeper knew that this was too close for comfort for Yasim. It's just that he didn't know that he was in danger.
You got to be careful there. You can never take anything for granted. Some of these fielders this day and age throws pretty quick, and don't turn your back on any of that, and make sure you go past the ground before you relax.
100 comes up for Hong Kong, China. Yeah, it's a wickets column that has stick too far. But 79 runs in 27. It calls for big hitting. This over has gone according to plan as far as Ishant's concerned. Just 3 runs conceded and half an over done and dusted with. The next 3 balls need to have an appointment with the boundary rope. Hong Kong, China, they're entertaining thoughts of winning this game. This is exactly what they need to do. Read the slower delivery, but knew that he will not have the pace to score in his favourite area, because that is absolutely blocked.
Yes, and the wicket isn't that quick either. It's a little bit sluggish. Some of these fielding efforts by Sri Lanka has also not assisted the Hong Kong team in their quest to get the runs. Look at that. There was a couple of those efforts in this innings so far, which really was, makes a difference. It's only 1, maybe 2 runs, but it makes a hell of a difference. And it lifts everybody else in the field as well.
It's a shot that he's tried so many times in this innings, but it's only granting him a single. This over has turned out to be very, very effective for Sri Lanka. Just 5 runs of it, and the required rate is speaking a language that Hong Kong, China are trying to understand. 18.4, it needs big hitting. It's not for the lack of trying. Let me tell you, it's the slower deliveries that are causing more trouble, because Yasim is being asked and challenged to lose his shape if he wants to hit a big shot, to apply power if he wants to hit a big shot. Will he accept the challenge now? Oh, that was speared in. That was really quick. Will pick up a single, Yasim. 16 gone, 103 for 5.
Yes, boys. Few seconds left.
So the cricket fans who are watching this, download the ACC app now. If you have an iOS or an Android, the QR code's right in front of you. Choose the one that suits your mobile, your device. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Asian Cricket Council TV to watch live and to not miss our updates on Instagram.
You know what? I just wonder if maybe it might be an instruction or two for the batters. Let's just bat the 20 overs. This required run rate. They're never going to get it. 19. Every over that comes and goes, they haven't got it. It's going to go up. Maybe they just want to bat the 20 overs and just get as many runs as they possibly can. That could be an objective.
Yeah, Hong Kong, China have been. Oh, that's well done. Saw him dance down the track, curtailed the length accordingly. Now Hong Kong, China have been put in a position where they're starting to think about the last column of the points table before the first column starts to tick. Are they playing this game for the net run rate now? 75 of 23. But we can still see some intent, but 19 and over is still too far away, and a single like that is not going to help the cause.
No, and the wicket taker's back on, Dushan. So, just looking at the way they are responding, they're going to bat the 20. And here's the points table. So after the match this evening, one of those two top two, either Bangladesh A or Afghanistan A, are going to remain on 1 win. Sri Lanka are going to go up, and they're going to be equal. with the top team.
Suddenly the ground looks very big. And the boundaries are not in sight. It's been 10 deliveries since the last boundary has been scored. 73 of 21, Hong Kong, China. Baba tried to take cues from what Dushan wanted to do, but Dushan was unfazed. He stuck to his plan.
That's right. Look, it's obvious now to me that they just won about the 20 overs. There he is, Dushan Hemantha, all-time favourite, Sanjay Surya, win 1996 World Cup. Thank you, mate. That was a really good match, I can assure you, especially where I was sitting.
Yeah, you had one of the best seats in the house. Here's one of his favourite moments. 1996 World Cup win was his favourite moment. Dushan Hemantha says that. All Blacks, favourite teams outside? Rugby, All Blacks. Outside cricket. 17 gone, 109 for 5.
Pushing the ball with spikes.
109 for 5 in 17 overs. 1996 World Cup win is the favourite moment of Dushan Hemantha. And you had one of the best seats in the house. And can you please tell us how heavy was that trophy?
And you know, they were very well coached. I have to say.
Yes, they were.
The trophy was actually pretty heavy. Everyone had their hands on it at some point, and eventually I got a photograph right at the end, and I was very, very pleased to have that as a memento.
But you see what you've done. You've inspired so many generations of cricketers who are already making a mark. And today one of them is playing the ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup for his country, and is knocking on higher doors of cricket as well with his performances.
Well, I'll tell you what, after the previous match and what he's doing today, he surely would be impressing the selectors.
Oh, that was a very optimistic appeal, coming from an angle that perhaps is not the best one to gauge in the first place. That's what cricket does to you, isn't it? The loudest appeal comes usually from long on or deep backward square.
Well, I tell all our players, just make sure you think like a captain. Yeah. So they get involved in the game. And yeah, lots of appeals come from the most outrageous positions.
Yeah. 2013 India Under-23. Surya Kumar Yadav picked up the trophy of the Emerging Cup. 17-18 Sri Lanka it was. Angelo Pereira, then Samu Ashan. Then Pakistan it has been from 2019 and 2023. Can they make it 3 on the trot is what they'd be asking. They didn't start off well, but if they can iron out their chinks, Pakistan can always come back.
Oh, surely. My prediction is that India will play Pakistan again in that final game. So here is the Sri Lankans when they did have a win. It's a wonderful feeling, I can tell you. Whatever cup you're winning, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, by a margin of 3 runs. There was Shamika in there, Nishan was a part of it too. I think that's enough motivation for Sri Lanka A to try and win this one as well. Sometimes in a situation like this, you might get a delivery that's dreamlike for you, but you're less prepared. It was a full toss at a comfortable height. No one in though. How good has he been as a skipper? The first game, especially. Everyone thought, why is he holding the spinner back? And then you realize this is why.
Yes, I know. Stranger things have happened. He's going to have a win in this game, though.
Watch as it go. Yasim Murtaza. Now required rates out of hand, but Hong Kong, China are looking at the net run rate aspect of it too. Lots of learning for Hong Kong, China from this game as well.
That's how you learn. I'm convinced of that. When you lose matches against good teams, you know exactly where you are, what you need to do. You have a look at the opposition and see how good they're playing, as long as your confidence doesn't get knocked around too much. And that's the end of the 18th over, 113 for 5.
It's been a good game of cricket so far, especially for Sri Lanka. 178 for 5. Yashoda was excellent with the bat in hand. 56 of 44. And one thing Sri Lanka A always wanted to tick off that bucket list is to find one of their key batters in form early on in the tournament, because that sets the template nicely for the entire tournament for Sri Lanka and, of course, Yashoda Lanka as well. 56 of 44 today, targeting both sides of the ground, getting into good positions and allowing himself to free his arms later. It was an innings of substance and was at a time when his team needed it too.
Well, that's right. When you get a start, and there were a few of them that got a start, so one of them had to go on, and Yashoda got the 50, and well done to him, and he was well supported by a few others with their contributions of 20.
Today wasn't required with the ball in hand, Yashoda, not thus far, but otherwise he can be very, very effective with the ball in hand too. Bats right-handed, bowls left-handed. And Sahan, whom he was batting with, he was exactly the opposite. Oh, that's got height and a lot of power. Distance check. Smashes into the stands. And good luck retrieving that, says Yasim. I think this came out of frustration because you know he can bat.
Yeah, the powerful shoulders, aren't they? He really put all his weight into it. Off it went a long way past the boundary. And being a leg spinner, I think he picked the right delivery to hit. If it was a googly or a wrong one, he may be in a little bit of a difficult spot, but he picked it very well and he executed just as well.
Goes again, not there, the elevation. In the bowler's book, it's always a catch. But in the fielder's book, he'll tell you there was a bit of torque. I had to make a split-second decision. I chose to hang back instead of the boundary.
No, it was never carrying. That was not a catch. But the bowlers always live in hope.
How do you convince the bowler? But I'm happy that a coach is convinced.
Well, I think heart of hearts, the bowler would understand that too. Here we go. That was never going to. There was not enough high. There wasn't not enough height, rather. It wasn't in the air a long time.
Oh, Murtaza has clobbered this one straight down the ground. This is even bigger, even better. Yasin's providing the entertainment towards the end. And a glimmer of hope, perhaps, for the next game.
Well, unfortunately for the bowler, he's got to come back down to earth, isn't he? And there's another big, hefty shot. Used his feet and opened the shoulders and hit really well. Execution was fantastic. That's gone out over the side screen. It's back now for the last ball of the over.
Oh, this was exceptional. Yasim Murtaza makes it 3 sixes in this over. And he's definitely slipping in a quiet note. Promote me next time if you need. 19 gone, 133 for 5.
Yeah.
46 required of the last over. Dushan, one of the prime bowlers of, one of the main bowlers of Sri Lanka A, was taken to the cleaners because Yasim Murtaza, venturing out with great conviction and clarity, sent the ball sailing. That was 2, and there comes the third one. So much power behind this one.
He was brought on to take a wicket, and that did not happen, and the result was 20 runs in that over. But that's what happens in T20 cricket. You're up one day and you're down the next. So he'll learn.
Oh, it's got him. He's played on. Nipun gets the second chance of celebrating in this game. And Baba's stay has come to an end.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Baba. He was in there for a long time, and he certainly used the time to occupy the crease, but that was a big inside edge that crashed into the off stump. So 38 runs, 41 balls, 6 wickets down, 133 runs on the board.
Five left.
Games.
133 for 6. Nasrullah Rana, 206 runs in 43 games. .46 required of 5 balls. 5 legal deliveries, and Sri Lanka A will walk away with a win. Much needed for them. Oh, that was terrific.
And there it is. Heave outside the off stump. Look, the head was actually in the air a little bit. He thought, expected it to hit the middle of the bat, but inside edge was the result. And what, just thinking that the previous over where the young leg spinner got hit around for 20, what it's done is just taken the gloss off the percentage, which is going to be very important at the end of this tournament to see who goes on. You just never know when that run rate comes into play.
Now, how well has he done? Wearing the skipper's hat too. Cool, calm, under pressure. All his team would want right now is more runs from him with the bat in hand, and then this team will look very, very different. Sri Lanka A. They had to come back to winning ways. And they're on the cusp of a very good win. Much needed win in ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup. Edged. Gone. That's the end of Yasim. Nipun roars as he increases his wicket tally. Good work by Udara.
Little unfortunate, I guess. It was wide and he got an edge. Generally they go a little bit wider still, but it just found its way straight to the wicket-keeper's big gloves. Look at that. Well taken, and a well-deserved wicket too, I have to say. He's been toiling and working hard, and this is fourth over. 44 runs, good effort by Yasim, and that is the fall of the 7th wicket. 134 for 7.
Ehsan to face Nipun. Now the final delivery coming up. Hong Kong, China. A lot to think about as far as this team's concerned, because they've had more experience on surfaces of this kind. This was Yasim Murtaza. He had to throw his bat at everything. Did so on that occasion. The outside edge was cleanly collected by Udara. Final delivery of the game. Squeezes it in the gap, but the wrist protection, it'll end with a team single. Sri Lanka A have done it. Victory here for them against Hong Kong, China. And they know the importance of this one as they start to tick in the points table. A sigh of relief for Udara, a sigh of relief for Nipun, Malinga, and most needed for Nuwanindu.
Well, that's right. It was a good victory, but it was a victory that was expected. I think everybody would agree with that. They were hoping, I would think, to get a greater margin of victory. That would seriously help the net run rate, because that, I'm sure, will come into play at the end of this tournament. So Sri Lanka's played 2, and Hong Kong, China's played 2, and there's one more game to go in for each of these two teams.
And lots of learnings for Hong Kong, China in the 2024 edition of ACC Men's T20 Emerging Teams Asia Cup. Hong Kong, China, this is the way they fared with the bat in hand. Sishan did get a start. Nizaka did get a start. Babar hung in there. Nasrullah and Ehsan, it's not much to talk about. Yasim's big hits towards the end, of course, provided entertainment, but they were a day late and a dollar short. Sri Lanka A win by 42 runs, and it's a comfortable margin in this format of the game.
And here's the very impressive bowling card. Strike economy is 4.5. Only the 1 wicket, Sahan, but he bowled very well, just for his 2 overs. And then 3 big wickets to Nipun. Wonderful effort in his 3 overs, but a very healthy strike economy rate as well. As you'd expect, Ishan also 2 wickets, 5 runs apiece. And here's a collection of some highlight packages for you.
It's always good to see handshakes at the end of a game that was played with good intensity. A sigh of relief indeed. You could see Yashoda as well finally afford a smile, something which he didn't even after reaching a half century. So Sri Lanka A on the back of Yashoda's 56 of 44, 178 is what they got to. And Nuwanindu and Ramesh towards the end, especially Ramesh, propelled them over the 170 mark. Hong Kong, China in reply fall short by 42 runs. As in their allotted 20, they get to 136 for 7. So the points table after this game, by the virtue of this win, Sri Lanka A pick up their first 2 points and have a healthy net run rate as well. Bangladesh A on number 2, Afghanistan at number 3 at this stage. Remember, it's number 2 versus number 3 taking on each other not too long from now. And Hong Kong, China will finish without a win right now. Can they turn things around in the third one? We'll take a short break, and when we come back, let's find out who the player of the match is. What a fantastic game of cricket we just had. Another one added to the tally. Hong Kong, China falls short though by 42 runs. 18 for Zishan. Khadze was looking good for his 15. But despite Yasin's brilliance towards the end, wasn't enough. Rath started off well. And so did Z. Then Rath played a shot that he would repent. They were looking for more momentum at that stage because Hong Kong, China knew they cannot play catch-up cricket. This was an excellent catch by Ramesh. Nizakat Khan, the skipper, trying to go for one which wasn't there to be hit. And then Ishan came in and wreaked havoc. Back-to-back wickets. Was on a hat-trick at one stage. Khadze got rid of the poor balls. One on the offside, one on the leg side. But eventually that innings turned out to be a flash in the pan as he was tempted to prog at a delivery. Babar Hayat and Yasim provided a good partnership, but it was of course a day late. Yasim was excellent towards the end. His 6 hitting skills came to the fore. Not 1, not 2, but 3 sixes in that over. And the third one when he stayed back and used power to clear. Someone who's known for class and finesse gets out that way. You tend to think why. Odara picked up a lovely catch. Nipun, it was time to celebrate for him for the 2nd time in the over. So 3 wickets for Nipun, 2 for Ishan. Dushan picked up a wicket too. Sahan did as well. And things augur well for Sri Lanka A. So Sri Lanka A 178 for 5. Yashoda's 56 would be a knock to remember. Absolutely brilliant knock, and Navanindo and Ramesh chipped in too. 136 for 7, Hong Kong, China in reply. Let's go down to Mikhail.
Sri Lanka put out a comprehensive performance and a dominant one as well to register their first points in the 6th edition of the Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. They outplayed and outclassed their opponents Hong Kong, China in supreme style and went on to beat them by 42 runs, thereby boosting their net run rate as well in this Group A fixture. They looked the good side with the bat as well, and they corrected everything this time around in the field with the ball too. They've been a side on display that has shown a lot of conviction in the middle. I'm afraid for Hong Kong, China, they'll have to really come back strong in that final league game of theirs and also hope that the other results pan out their way. Hello, good evening and welcome to the post-match presentation of the 6th edition of the Emerging Teams Men's Asia Cup 2024. First up, the Asian Cricket Council would like to thank Oman Cricket for dishing out a splendid tournament like this we are seeing at the Oman Cricket Academy. Before we have a chat with the captains, we would firstly like to welcome our guest as well, who will be giving away the Player of the Match trophy, Mr. Prakash Bhatt, the match official for this game. Good evening, sir. Very good to have you as well. A quick chat with both the captains. First up, Nizakat Khan, Hong Kong, China. If you could come by, we'll have a quick chat with you as well. Tough luck, Nizakat. At the toss, you decided to curtail them under 150. You felt the total just got too big on you in the chase when you came back at the halfway stage?
Yes, obviously, you know, I think first 10 over we bowled quite well. And after that, you know, our fielding was a little bit sluggish today, to be honest. But, you know, credit goes to Sri Lankan players, you know, the way they batted.
Right, just taking us through the chase for you all, you felt the conditions on the surface were slightly different from the surface you played previously in your first game?
Well, yeah, you know, this wicket was a little bit on a slow side. But overall, you know, it's not, I'm giving an excuse, but, you know, we haven't batted well.
Right, it's good to be candid and open about your shortcomings as well, which is fairly accepted. Certain things that you really want to improve upon in that last league game of yours. It's a short tournament, it's a fast tournament. You need to get those wins coming fast and quick.
Yes, obviously, you know, we have to win. We have to improve in all our departments, especially bowling, batting, and obviously fielding as well. But you know, these tournaments for us is like learning and growing as a team. So yeah, we are taking a lot of these games.
Right, tough luck today. Hope you come back stronger as well. Good luck for the remaining games.
Thank you.
Captain of Hong Kong, China, Nizakat Khan, coming second in this contest against Sri Lanka A, who was batted and bowled exceptionally well. We'll have a quick chat with the captain of Sri Lanka A as well, Navanindo Fernando. The towering personality. Congratulations, you'll be mighty pleased. All boxes tick because at the toss you said you want to improve on your fielding. 9 misfields in the last game, 2 runouts in the last game. All of that look corrected.
Yeah, first of all, we set the target in the evening, 160, 170. Sometimes after 10 overs, they bowl really well, and we little bit doubt this 160, 170.
Right.
And after that, our batters played well.
Right, Nizakar spoke about the surface being a little on the slower side. As a batting unit, you felt the same?
Yeah, I felt because first 10 overs little bit hard because of the new ball, and after that, Yashoda Lanka played really well, and after Sahan Narachi and Ramesh Mendis finished it well.
Yeah, that was a good finish, good start as well. In the field, you all had the spark. You all were very good, and your pacers and spinners, all of them came together really well. Happy with the way Malinga and Nipun Ransika bowled with the spin combination as well?
Yeah, they bowled really well because the wicket was a little bit slow,
Right.
and we try our best in the game.
Right, it's a good win, it's a big win. You really boost your net run rate with a 42-run victory. Good luck for the remaining games.
Thank you.
Captain of Sri Lanka A, Nuvanidu Fernando. What a performance so far by them. Yes, the player of the match to be given away right now, and it goes to a batter who in tough batting conditions held fort, dropped anchor, got the runs up front, opening the innings for Sri Lanka A. Yashoda Lanka. Very well played. 56 in 44 deliveries, 3 fours, 2 sixes at a strike rate of 127. He'll be collecting his player of the match from Mr. Prakash Bhatt, the match official. Well played, Yashoda Lanka. Very well done. You can come this way. Yes.
Thanks.
So that you had a plan in place, or you just played according to the situation?
Yeah, it's first of all telling it's a very hard situation. This is so hot and very slow pitch today. So I'm 2-3 overs I'm batting. I'm thinking it's hard work because it's running hard and just push myself and just let's do that.
Yeah, I did test your endurance, your fitness. 3 fours, 2 sixes, a strike rate of 127. You stitched a couple of partnerships with the middle order batters as well.
Yeah. Normally middle order batting is very good. Our team is very experienced batsmen, middle order and low order, and they helped me and doing that.
They helped you, you helped the side, you helped each other, and you all got this much needed win. But a very crucial win as well for you. And happy to see as many as 5 to 6 batters getting into double figures. 4 batters scored over 20 as well.
Yeah. We have a very good batters and very good bowlers, tough, very good side. So we are trying to next games, we will do best.
I'm sure you're raring to go in the next game as well. You'll come out hard at your opposition, but a very fine innings in very testing conditions. You can give yourself a pat on the back as well. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yashoda Lanka, their player of the match in game number 5 on day 3 of the Emerging Teams Asia Cup 2024. Sri Lanka A winning by 42 runs, and they'll be mighty pleased with this effort of theirs. That's it from the presentation area.
What a fantastic innings that was from Yashoda. And next up we have Bangladesh A take on Afghanistan A. The intensity will not be reduced one bit. Do join us there at 5:30 local time. We'll come to you live from Oman Cricket Academy.
This time gets low on it.
Wow, there's the first wicket.
Down the wicket and smashes it over. Oh, yes.
And this is the inside edge, and this will be a certain boundary. Once again, he gives himself room, and this is in the air, and a chance to be taken, and Sri Lanka hold on.
Sadiqullah Atal, right?
Atal.
Atal.
Yeah.
Sadiqullah Atal.
Just hold
Afghanistan.
it close.
We have Sadiqullah Atal from Afghanistan. Sadiqullah, you were sensational in the first game. Talk us through the way you prepare yourself before an innings of that kind.
Yeah, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. It was a great game of cricket, and it's just my normal game, which I always playing, and nothing that much new for me. So it's just in front of camera for few times. So that's why lots of people ask me these questions. How do you play these shots? How? But I always practice on those shots.
From all those shots, there might be a favorite one too. Which one was your favorite? Because it felt like everything came from the middle of the bat.
All were good, but the spinner six on mid up was my favorite one.
Thank you so much, and all the very best for the next one as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, it's on. I can't hear anything. So. On? Yes, yes, on. Yes, yes. No, no. क्या कह रहे हैं? क्या कह रहे हैं? बोल रहा हूँ माइक का बता देना क्या? Okay, hold from like this, huh?
Director, can you hear me? Yeah. Huh?
No, don't hold from like this. No.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, okay. Is it on? Is it on? Yes, on.
I can't hear the bustle of the.
Sir, come.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
ये बक्सा हटाओ. Plane change हो गया.
Akbar.
Akbar Ali, I were keeping as well. You were keeping wickets.
Yeah, the frame.
Can you make it quick, please? I have some.
हाँ,
quick,
we'll
please.
make it quick, yeah.
Yeah.
बताओ
I'll totally be reliant on you because.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Director, can you hear me?
Hold it close.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Stand by, can
Arey, cable, very cable. Don't stamp on the cable, please. Right side.
Right side.
You go.
Stand by. In 5.
We have Akbar Ali from Bangladesh A with us. Akbar, you were sensational in the first game. If you could tell us a little bit about what you were trying to tell the bowlers from behind the wicket as a keeper.
Basically, as a wicketkeeper and as a captain, I have to tell the bowlers that what I feel that what might gonna do the batters in the next few balls, or what is the best length to bowl in this particular wicket. So that's the basic things actually.
Did you get everything out of a game that you always wanted to, being it the first game of a tournament? Did you tick all boxes?
Not all the boxes, but I guess we have ticked most of the boxes. Of course, there is few room for improvement, and we have like planned for this game to fill them.
And finally, what's the plan for today's game? How's the mood in the camp?
Boys are really in good shape, and I guess boys are really excited to perform well in these two matches as well.
All the very best for today's one as well.
Thank you so much.
चलो भाई लेंस चेंज कर दें